sidekick. All right, let's see if we can get an answer to the stupid question this morning. What bird has the scientific name Turdus migratorius?
Love it.
We will go to Jackie, see if Jackie knows the answer. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
All right, Jackie, the bird that has the scientific name Turdus migratorius, what do we know that better as?
Steve would probably think this is Batman's sidekick, but you're looking for the bird, a robin.
You are correct. A robin. An American robin. Hang on, Jackie.
I think it should be Batman and Turdus.
We're going to give you a pair of tickets to join Jackie and Brent in a suite at the Worth 400 on Sunday, April 30th at Dover Motor Speedway. NASCAR roars back to the Monster Mile at Dover Motor Speedway, April 28th to 30th. You can be there live in person at the edge of your seat for all the excitement. Get tickets at dovermotorspeedway.com.
Do you think when Jackie goes to Dover, does he fall back in line? Because he used to work pit crew over there, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he probably gets right back into it. I apologize for my snottiness this morning. I have a very stuffy nose, and I will be
You're very emotional.
having to sniff and do all that stuff throughout this. But anyhow, we're going to start with this story. Very interesting. According to Page 6, Nick Lachey has been ordered to attend anger management classes and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings for accosting a paparazzo named Jody Santos. Now, this took place about a year ago.
Yes.
The Los Angeles County District Attorney Office told the outlet in a statement yesterday, Mr. Lachey has not been charged with misdemeanor assault and battery. Instead, he is participating in the LADA's pre-filing diversion program, which was established in 2017.
The crazy
statement continued saying, as part of these conditions, he must participate in anger management classes and attend Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Successful completion of the pre-filing diversion program will result in no criminal charges being filed. Now, Santos, the photographer,
right,
said that she was in her car, photographing the Love is Blind host and his wife, Vanessa Lachey, after they left dinner last year, March of last year. And she said, in all of my years of photographing celebrities, no one has ever tried to hit me. She added that she rolled up her car window as fast as she could. She said he then started punching the window. I thought he was going to break his hand. That's how hard he was hitting the glass.
Well, you know what? When you stalk them like that for so long, like, you know what I mean? They get to a point where just leave them alone.
Yeah,
At some
she wants
point,
to play the victim here.
somebody's going to snap.
Yeah.
She added, I am surprised he didn't shatter the window. But, you know.
I saw Kathy Roundhouse kick a photographer one time.
Really?
He's getting too close.
Okay.
This is getting
Right?
way
Get
too
away.
close. No,
My activities list is coming out Monday. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
listen, no, I mean, he should not have done that, but
Right.
maybe he was just at, his breaking point. And these people, they want to, follow them around every step that they take.
I remember when this happened.
is the
That's what
risk.
he said. And apparently he said that she was really, listen, he should not have done it. That's correct as well. And he's doing what he needs to do. But I can see that at a certain point, you're like, for Christ's sake.
Well,
leave him alone.
I mean, listen, he's been probably followed by paparazzis for years and years and years. This is the first time I ever heard of anything like this, So for some reason, at that particular time, he was at his breaking point. This sort of stuff, like, it really, it boils my blood because
You're such a Nick Lachey fan.
No. It has nothing to do with him, but it has to do with paparazzi and trolls. And when they'll push buttons, and then the second somebody fights back, they go, look at this. Is this the person? And then all of a sudden, I don't know.
So you
all
might
part
feel
of
that
it.
they're kind of waiting for that moment.
Oh, they're waiting.
They're doing it to get it out.
They
on the-
agitate to make it happen.
And then
when it happens,
and then they play the victim, or they throw that story out there. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I was reading that Nick Lachey, Preston, he was going to get into the ganja industry. He was very active in that, and he had a deal that was supposed to go through in Ohio where he would have made millions upon millions of dollars, and legislation killed it. I mean, he would have been set many times over.
Oh, they were gonna. They didn't legalize it, or
Something in the code.
Okay.
The dispensaries.
Interesting.
And he was ready to go.
Oh man, wow.
Maybe that's what he was upset about.
He might have been mad. Maybe that's when the deal went south.
God damn it!
All right, so here's another lawsuit of sorts. Gwyneth Paltrow appeared in court yesterday to defend herself against retired optometrist Terry Sanderson over an alleged skiing accident that took place at Deer Valley Ski Resort near Salt Lake City, Utah in 2016.
Do you remember this story? I actually do.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
According to court documents, Sanderson claims Paltrow's skiing was, quote, out of control as she hit him in the back, knocking him down hard, knocking him out, and causing a brain injury, 4 broken ribs, and other serious injuries. So he originally sued her for $3.1 million, but a judge ruled that he could only seek $300,000 in damages. So the actress is denying his claims. Instead, she said that he was the one who crashed into her on the slopes, causing her to experience a full body blow. The Goop founder is seeking $1 in damages in her counterclaim suit, with the addition of legal fees, and she believes that Sanderson's lawsuit is an attempt to exploit her celebrity and wealth. The trial is expected to continue through the end of this month.
There apparently is something that he posted online on the order of, I'm famous now, after all this went down.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, who knows? They'll figure it out.
In my gut, I'm leaning with Gwyneth on this.
You're a goopy.
I'm a goopy. Yeah, I don't know. I think she'd be the type of person that would, if she had caused a problem, would fess up to it.
She would make them comfortable and give them a vagina-scented candle.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've seen crazy people on the slopes.
Have you ever seen a real heavy collision?
I had somebody do it to me.
Oh, really?
It was in Jackson Hole.
They behind you?
I had the whole run to myself. It was empty.
Yeah. Was it
wide
Nick Lachey?
open. And so I'm snowboarding and I'm cutting. I'm taking my time. I'm just weaving down because it was pretty steep. And so I'm using all of the slope. There was no one out there but me. And all of a sudden I just feel boom.
Wow.
Dude, nailed me from the rear. And I'm like, how is this? I'm the only person out here.
Yeah, I mean, I had it.
Sorry, man.
Happen. I've had it happen a few times, and near misses and whatever. But Steve, if you are skiing and you're out on the slopes, 'cause I know you're not a big skier, but if you're behind the person, that's your responsibility.
It's your responsibility.
So
You're held
are then-
liable.
If somebody's in front of you, even if they're like kind of skiing slowly or whatever,
Right.
you have to steer around them and make sure that you don't run into them.
So by the rules of the mountain, is Gwyneth Paltrow responsible for this?
I don't know if
We don't know where she was.
It's a he said she said thing.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
gooped, she gooped.
I don't know if there are any witnesses. That's the thing. So nothing in that story mentions witnesses. So that's the complication. Nick Cannon is not holding back when it comes to how much he admires his ex-wife, Mariah Carey. The pair were married in 2008 and announced their separation in 2014 before filing their divorce in 2016. They share 11-year-old twins, Moroccan and Monroe. In a recent interview, the Wild 'N Out star was asked who he feels is the love of his life, and he replied, like the greatest? I mean, I always talk about that, and then it goes viral and all our fans get mad at me. He said, I was 12 years old when Mariah Carey pictures on my wall, and that becomes my wife. And the fact that she's the coolest person I ever met, she's just always happy, always doing for others. No matter what's happening in life, I'm like, wow, a person can really operate like that and don't allow negative energy into their space.
So they got married when he was 12?
No, he said when he was 12, he had pictures on his wall.
Oh, because that would have been, I think, criminal, right?
He said, when I found that out about how remarkable she was, that woman is not human. She's a gift from God.
Wow. Someone's trying to get back in there.
He also attributed his positive attitude to her. He said, I get a lot of this delightful disposition from her.
Do you know, she said essentially the same about him. So why can't these two crazy kids get back together?
I don't know. Not sure. Later on this morning, we're going to have Danny Cage, the owner of Monster Factory, the wrestling training facility. And so a wrestling story might be apropos. Andy Kaufman will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame over 40 years after his iconic feud with Jerry the King Lawler.
I think this is very appropriate because he did a ton for wrestling and that was years he was doing that.
He is the latest celebrity who will receive the prestigious honor on WrestleMania weekend next month in Inglewood, California. He famously dubbed himself the World Intergender Wrestling Champion by wrestling women and offering them a $1,000 prize if they could pin him. And the gimmick eventually led to a feud with Jerry the King Lawler in 1982. At the peak, when Lawler, now 73, slapped Kaufman on Late Night with David Letterman in July of that year, was everywhere. It was huge. The now iconic clip which saw Kaufman in a neck brace, ended with the comedian hurling profanities and throwing coffee toward Lawler. And we have a couple of clips. This is him taunting Jerry Lawler. He would send him these videos of him, and this is one.
You know what, Mr. Lawler? I've heard all these things you've been saying about me on television. You want to wrestle me? You want to wrestle me, Memphis style? All right, fine. I'm not afraid of you, Mr. Lawler, because let me tell you something. True, I only wrestle women, but I've wrestled women that are a lot bigger and stronger than you. Matter of fact, they're probably smarter than you because you don't have any brains. You're from Memphis, Tennessee. All you do is plow the fields and farm and the farmers. Is that how you talk from Memphis, Tennessee, Mr. Lawler? Oh I am from Hollywood. I have the brains. That's how I win my matches. You might be twice as big as me, but I've wrestled women that are twice as big as me, and I've mopped the floor with them.
So he would send him these videos and get under his skin. But the whole thing was that, and no one knew for the longest time. It was a feud, whether it was a debate whether or not it was a real feud or not, and it was eventually revealed that they had all been in on it together.
And Lawler
and
loved it.
Actually, good friends.
Yes.
And the secret was heavily guarded, and it was the movie Man on the Moon where they finally addressed that. Openly.
You know, it's funny because I love Andy Kaufman. I love his a lot of his stuff, his specials, but it must have been a nightmare to be around him.
Yeah.
Like, as depicted in the movie, as depicted in the documentary of the making of the movie, because Jim Carrey adopted that same thing where I don't care if I'm upsetting people. I don't care if people are finding this annoying. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Right.
And after a while, like even the director, Milos Forman, is like, can you give me a goddamn break?
Well, and also he was, while Jerry Lawler was filming his scenes, like Jim Carrey was antagonizing him.
Right.
And from what I heard is Lawler had to pull him aside and go, look, dude, me and Andy were friends.
Yeah.
So this thing that you're doing right here is a fantasy. This is not how he was with me. We were in on this together.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
And I also remember I saw an interview with Robin Williams saying that, because all those comedians were tight. And he's like, but Andy was another level of, like, they were kind of like looking at each other, the other comedians going, yeah, he
was meta. Like I mean, he would do the thing where he would come out and he would strangle a joke, like coming out and reading The Great Gatsby on stage.
Yeah.
But I mean, when he was on and when he was killing, nobody was better.
Yep. All right, a few other things. Let's see here. According to TMZ, a source close to Amanda Bynes' family said that her parents are not considering another conservatorship amid the actress's psychiatric hold. The source added that Lynn and Rick Bynes are comforted by the fact that Amanda called the police on herself.
Yeah.
And they consider her recent psychiatric episode to be an anomaly. So it's nothing that's making them go, look, we need to get a handle on this.
That was the question I asked yesterday. I assume that is a good sign if someone is aware enough to say, I'm having an episode here.
Yeah, I hope so. Entertainment Tonight reports that Sarah Snook debuted her baby bump during the season 4 premiere of Succession on Monday night.
I'd like to speak to Sarah Snook, please.
She said it's exciting. She shared that she is 32 weeks along at this point, and she said, I feel great. She had married Australian comedian Dave Lawson in 2021. I'm watching Succession. I'm still in the first season, but I've come around to now I know who Sarah Snook is.
Okay.
She's gorgeous. I love her. She's a great character too in the show.
The premiere is next week. It's on the 26th.
Excellent.
For season 4, yeah.
Final season?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a comment from Brian Cox. He said that the season 4 premiere of Succession. With that, Brian Cox told Entertainment Tonight he's more than ready for the show to end. He said, I think we've got to the point where the show has reached its natural closure. Cox added that he is absolutely delighted to wrap up the project in a good way. He said, I'm happy that it's over. He thinks that the story has finally
reached its point. Yeah.
So which is good when they can do that and not, strangle it for a little bit more.
I agree.
For years, bowling shirts were a part of Guy Fieri's signature look, along with his spiky blonde hair and sunglasses. But the Tournament of Champions host told the Wall Street Journal that he's not wearing them these days. He said, I don't think I even own one bowling shirt. He said, I'm pretty much a T-shirts and jeans guy, shorts, flip-flops. I'm not a real fashion icon. He said, I'd gotten the call to do diners, drive-ins, and dives, and they said, bring a short-sleeve collared shirt. When the show got picked up, that's what I had worn in the pilot, and they said, all right, that's the wardrobe. So he just happened to have a bowling shirt, and then they said, from now on, you need to wear that.
You know who did great things for bowling shirts? Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
He wore them constantly.
You're right.
And shorts.
Yep. Justin Timberlake, speaking of fashion, has made his campaign debut with Louis Vuitton.
Oh.
Officially. The sexy back singer and his actress wife, Jessica Biel, attended their first Louis Vuitton show in October of 2019, and now he's in his first luxury fashion ad for the house name. In addition to Timberlake, and you guys will have to help me out with some of these names, Naomi Osaka, Kate Blanchett, Ho-Young Young,
Sure.
Leah Seydoux, and Zhou Dongyu
I think you nailed it.
are in the campaign for the collaboration with Japanese artist Yayoi Kusama. So thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, that was good. And who's going to help you with that? You got it.
Yeah. The singer isn't an ambassador for the brand.
He's not an ambassador.
But
Why
they're-
are we even listening to
but
him?
they're calling him a friend of the house.
Oh, that's not good.
That's according
What
to
is-
a spokesperson.
That's
of Louis Vuitton.
weird.
Isn't that? I thought so. If you're doing an ad campaign, wouldn't you be
Go
a
F
brand
yourself. Yeah.
ambassador?
Right.
But maybe it has to do with the very specific contract details. I don't know.
Maybe he's not.
less. You
Maybe
get less
he's not
money.
exclusive to them, and that's why they're calling him a
It's
friend,
possible.
and he has the opportunity to do others.
I know he also works with Kohl's.
The collaboration will be available on March 31st, by the way. Shaquille O'Neal caused concern for his health when he posted a photo of him in a hospital bed on Twitter on Sunday. He underwent surgery to fix an issue with his hip, and everything apparently went according to plan. O'Neal is already on the mend. Even while in the hospital, he joked that he's always watching basketball, especially the coverage of his NBA on TNT coworkers Candace Parker and Ernie Johnson. He said, "Miss y'all." And Parker responded to O'Neal by saying, "Love you, big fella."
He is a
will
big fella.
reportedly be sidelined from returning to his broadcasting gig for about a month or so.
We haven't talked about Shaq in a little while since I guess maybe it was his birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I had mentioned that he had that rap song
Yes.
with Fooshnickens.
Do we have it?
Yeah, Fooshnickens, yeah. And my favorite lyric is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I don't know if that's what we have here in this.
Isn't that the technical name for Ozempic?
You guys remember this?
No.
What's up, hard? Yo,
Nah. I was hoping it would be the supercalifragilistic. Maybe I can find that later for
is
the
this-
next Shaq story.
It's an old song?
Oh yeah, mid to late 90s. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Don't remember that. Let's see. I got time for just one or two.
Well,
more quick
we
things.
do have to, circle back to Kathy's breaking news on Vanderpump.
Oh my God. I totally forgot. Okay. Kathy has found a way to explain to us. Somebody sent you this.
Yeah, somebody sent me
Did
this.
they, in fact, beach themselves?
No, but Steve, I thought this was great. I was like, okay, now I understand the whole thing.
Well, this is. Do we need some sort of higher education music, Casey?
no,
Because
not,
we're getting
not
schooled
really.
here.
This is very quick.
Yeah.
There is other music you might want to pull up, though, Case. All right, ready? So, an explanation on why the Vanderpump Rules drama is such a big deal. Here
All
it
right,
is.
all right.
Here's a reference for those who don't watch the show. Imagine if Chandler cheated on Monica with Rachel secretly for 7 months and Joey knew all along.
And that's
All right.
that's what's going on.
But I don't care about any of those characters.
No, but that's what they're saying. Like,
They're
for
saying
us
in
who
the
don't-
world of Vanderpump,
If you
that's the
did.
tectonic kind of issue we're dealing with.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that we would gleefully wipe our asses with these people should have no bearing.
Like, I don't know who is Joey
Right.
and Rachel
Of course.
in these scenarios.
Me neither.
But nonetheless, that's the type of drama
and who's Smelly Cat?
that's taking place. Who knows? All right, one last thing, and that is this. According to People Magazine, the official trailer for the Hulu documentary Pretty Baby Brooke Shields was released yesterday.
I want to watch this.
Shields says in the preview, the entirety of my life was she's a pretty face over and over and over and over again. And that always scared me. The two-part documentary is expected to hit the streaming platform on April 3rd.
You and I have talked about this. Initially, we were, everyone just thought, oh, they're just looks. They're just looks. They're just models. That's it. And then it took a while. They realized we were so much more. And that's really, that's it. We commiserate.
Understood. Yep. All right, so we're ready for clips now. A spy among friends follows the true story of British intelligence double agent Kim Philby. And in this clip, star Damian Lewis talks about his experiences.
Hang on, I'm not ready.
Still on the Shaq rap song?
Well, yeah, but hang on. Let me fix this.
All right.
We're talking about Damian Lewis. Okay, I'm ready. Sorry.
In this clip, star Damian Lewis talks about his experience in preparing for the role. Here we go.
Once you've done all your research and all your reading, and you hope that somehow you've absorbed parts of that, but then it's very animalistic. It's very instinctive and responsive. Once you're that up on set,
I don't think I want to see it.
Spy Among Friends is available now on Amazon Prime.
Do you know what I think? He would be great, and he has a brief appearance, and once upon a time in Hollywood, playing Steve McQueen. Excuse me, I'm grubbing up here, but I'd love to see them do a full biopic and have him play Steve McQueen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, next clip. Here we go. Singles try to find a match and fall in love without ever seeing each other face to face in the 4th season of Love is Blind. Here, former contestant Natalie Lee talks about her speculations after filming.
You know, Shayna was one of my closest friends in the pods. And so seeing that, like, my former friend and my former fiance kept up lies to me for an entire year until they were revealed on the show. And then some other things I heard from, other cast members of, some hangouts that they've had that people felt like was more than platonic. I felt like with that, there was a little bit more there.
You suck my and shut the up, huh?
Your wife is a big fan of this, right?
They should add a glory hole.
You're right.
Into the pods.
Sure. You see one part of them.
Love is Blind returns to Netflix Friday. Yeah, Rochelle watches this show. I don't watch this show.
You're not missing anything.
Nah,
you're a Vanderpump guy.
That's me.
You're a pumpy.
I want to circle back again to Shaquille O'Neal because he is going to be performing in Philadelphia after the Phillies game on Saturday, July 1st. So,
Phantom of the Opera?
No, he's just doing Diesel, a.k.a. Shaq, a post-game concert. And yeah, so they do these throughout the season. But Shaq will be in town on Saturday, July 1st doing a show.
Where do they put that
Right out
show
on the field.
on?
Yes.
On the field.
Yeah, so it takes a half hour or so after the game ends, and usually they actually start those games a little bit earlier so that the game ends earlier, and then they can have the post-game concert.
I'd love to get him on.
I would too. Can we see if we can make that happen?
Yeah.
To promote
Let's call Bradley Cooper. He'll do it for us.
I know somebody who is friends with him.
Okay.
Like friends.
Shaquille?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Hang
Did
on.
he write that rap song?
That's okay, not being braggadocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
There it is. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Something like that?
Yeah.
Hold on, one more time.
That's okay, not being braggadocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Shaqadalidocious.
Shaq is alidocious.
Shaq is alidocious?
Yeah. I mean,
who wrote the lyrics?
Shaq is
Now?
alidocious.
Yeah, not many people are alidocious, but
Shaq
Shaq is definitely alidocious.
is alidocious.
Even Nell doesn't understand.
Nell agrees. All right, and there you go.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Actually, that's the sound I assume coming out of the bathroom stall at the airport. The other
We
day.
need more Nell clips. There are definitely more Nell clips.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
We've got to get some fresh Nell. All right.
Fresh Nell.
Fresh now. That smells good. Is that fresh?
Fresh Nell was Shaq's first girlfriend.
That is fresh Nell.
Fresh Nell, come on.
All right. And that's the entertainment report. All right, we have a stupid question this morning. A chance to win tickets to see Nothing But Thieves. They're going to be playing at the Fillmore.
That's a less than question. Oh, no, secret text word. Sorry.
Secret text word. What did I say?
Stupid question. It's okay.
All right, so listen, I'm all over the place. I got a head cold.
He's
here.
sick.
Hey, you're not alidocious, man. It's okay.
Secret text word. Text word secret to 39333. We have these Nothing But Thieves tickets to give away. That's going to be Friday, September 15th at the Fillmore. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Then on top of that, in about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour from now, we're going to have the clue to give to you and what you're going to need to do with that clue in order to win tickets to, actually, I should say, a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts. So make sure that you stay with us for the next hour or so. We would love for you to win that. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in just a second, so hang out.
Preston and Steve WMMR.
Hey, Michael, good morning it. Good morning it.
Good morning, it.
Good morning.
Good morning, it.
Just hanging out. Good morning, it. Just doing over there, buddy.
What are you doing?
Just good morning, it.
Good morning, it. Yeah, no, I have a home office.
You're gonna have to hang on a second.
Look it.
Just hanging out. Good morning, it.
Good morning it. Look it. It's good morning it outside. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Hey, Michael. Good morning it.
The Cabbage Patch, though, was such a huge, huge hit, and they smelled nice. They smelled like baby
bit
powder.
like babies.
And so
That was like fight over them at the store during Christmas
Right.
time.
Yeah.
There were
'Cause
bulls.
They would release new ones.
Kathy, that Schwarzenegger movie,
Jingle All the Way.
That is predicated on those famous toy store brawls over Cabbage Patch dolls.
But the cool thing about Cabbage Patch, they all had Xavier or whatever the guy's last name's
On the butt.
They all had a tattoo. They were all branded.
the Cabbage Patch dolls were part of the Nexium cult.
But so I have a very vivid memory of I got my first Cabbage Patch doll. I couldn't wait. I was 10 years old. I got him for my 10th birthday. You get the birth certificate. And I was able to rename them, right? So you send that thing and you get the birth certificate back. And so mine was named Casey Jr. I was so excited to get this thing, right? And
the Cabbage Patch
the
doll,
Cabbage
really?
Patch doll. I was so because it was the thing. I was 10 years old too.
Right.
It was the thing. It was the thing that everybody had and whatever. My neighbor across the street, and I'm going to say your name. Your name's Wayne, and you're a piece of trash because he called me the slang word for a gay person.
Because you had a doll?
Because I had a doll. He was an adult, Kathy. This dude is probably like 30 years old. Called me, and I was so happy about having this thing for my birthday.
That's terrible.
And he called me
terrible.
that. Terrible.
What a jerk. How old were you? And
I
how
was
old were you?
10 years old.
10 years old.
And it was my birthday.
What a dick.
What a
I know. But like, oh my God.
Where's that dick now?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Wayne.
All right.
Terrible person.
How many times you asked that question in your life, Kathy?
God, where's that dick now?
When I need it.
There are so many dicks that I'm wondering where they are.
Yes.
All right, back to toys.
Oh, right.
Toys.
Okay, so
Casey's in therapy now.
American Girl dolls.
I'm out of it now. I'm out of it.
And then there was we already did another pre-screening. Like Marissa hosted that, right?
She hosted it last night at the AMC Fashion District.
It was last night, and then Casey hosted a screening last week
At the same exact place.
for the movie Free Guy.
Yeah.
And while we were on vacation, we got a text from Casey out of nowhere
Yeah, what did I
explaining that things didn't go quite the way he wanted them to
So
go.
if it's possible to suffer a concussion without actually hitting your head, that's what I think you experienced, Casey.
Yeah, and so I don't want to. I'm hoping
I'll find the text.
Okay,
Here. I'll read it.
I'm hoping that I didn't lead you guys down in the wrong direction of where you think this story is going to go.
No, we don't know anything. We know that, but it was so heartfelt, the text you sent out, that we knew it had to, because there have been similar situations in all our lives. But this one seemed like, wow, this really had to be a little bit more.
Yes. So I have the text here.
Okay,
It
go
says,
ahead.
"Oh my God, I'm at the screening for Free Guy." And by the way, I sent you this text. I'm still there. I have not hosted the screening yet. Okay, I'm still there. I have already embarrassed myself, and I needed to go somewhere and be by myself, decompress for a second, and then I had to admit to somebody what an ass I am, and just to sort of make myself feel a little bit better. And guess what? It didn't help. I still felt terrible. And I said, so they asked me to hype up the crowd and then introduce one of the stars of the movie. So this guy named Joe Keery, who plays Steve from Stranger Things, is in the movie Free Guy.
Yeah.
He was there to introduce the film, and I was there essentially to introduce him.
Right.
So I had come back I was on vacation in Wildwood. I had come back just to do this. I thought it was a really cool experience.
Real quick, had you met him at this point, or is he still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
By the way, he
so-
seems
all right.
like he's awesome. I love that character, Steve from Stranger Things. He seems like I've seen him interviewed before. He seems like a cool guy.
He was a great guy.
Okay.
And I will say that, categorically, he was a great guy, and the movie is hilarious. It's a great movie. And the movie had been on the shelf for a year.
Yes.
They wanted a theatrical release, and so they were like,
And
we're just going to wait.
Only theater.
And only theater. So, and And then I wrote, I just had a classic embarrassing moment. Like, it's a classic shut the F up, Casey, and walk away kind of a moment. I'm pretty embarrassed, but it's also a really funny story. So,
And you said you weren't sure if it was going to translate on the air.
I'm not sure if it's going to translate on air.
Okay.
So,
well, let's hear it.
Well, deliver it in the original Farsi.
Right.
All right, so here's the deal. This movie was at the Fashion District, the old Galleria, the AMC there. I had never been there. By the way, what they've done to the place, the whole Galleria, the Fashion District, is awesome. It's really, really nice. So I get there. Joe had gotten there earlier than planned.
From the movie company.
From the movie company. But I had also gotten there an hour early, so I decided to walk around a little bit.
Right.
Side story, but it also is part of the story. I went to a place called Wetzel's Pretzels. Have you guys ever heard of Wetzel's Pretzels?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Philadelphia Pretzel Factory, and I love Annie Ann's.
Yeah.
Wetzel's Pretzels is like the best pretzel I have ever had in my entire life. I couldn't, and I was so happy with myself for going, you know what? I've never had a Wetzel's pretzel. Let me stop by and try one, right? Hey, me. And this thing was amazing.
And you were really proud of yourself.
And I was really proud of and I couldn't believe how it was big.
Oh, is this hand shocked?
Yes. It was amazing. And I'm sitting there, I'm eating this thing, and I'm going, I think I need to open a franchise. I'm like, this is like I have just discovered gold for the first time. That was like amazing. So I get done eating the pretzel, and Hannah from Allied Advertising she's my handler, and she says, "Hey, Joe's here. I can bring you back to meet him." I'm like, okay. I decide to use Wetzel's Pretzels as an icebreaker. Okay.
Well, you were completely enamored of Wetzel's Pretzels. It would be ridiculous not to.
Okay. I've been sober almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I go into this place like I had just done 7 rails of coke. Okay.
You're hyped up.
I'm hyped up. Okay. And let me also preface this by saying I'm fairly aware of who I am as a person and what I am as a person. And sometimes I have, how do you say, no chill.
You have moments.
Yes. No,
I have these moments. But listen,
that's a valid criticism of yourself.
Right.
But as we've told you throughout the years, to put a tap on that would be throwing out the baby with the bathwater, because that same energy delivers so much greatness to what we do
on the radio.
On the radio.
Okay. In person.
Sometimes
with a stranger.
Yes.
Might be different.
So
yes.
like
someone who's never met you.
Right.
Who's in a new town promoting a movie.
And there are 3 people in this room that have never met me. And so, as the great Ted Lasso once said, know thyself, rest in peace, Socrates. I did not realize as I was going off the rails what was going on here. So I'm brought into this room. I go off on Wetzel's Pretzels. As it turns out, all 3 people in the room have heard of Wetzel's Pretzels before.
Oh, good.
And yes. So
It was relatable.
It was relatable, and we had this in common.
You picked the perfect icebreaker.
All right. So I meet Joe. Joe's a great guy. And then I meet 2 of his handlers. One of them, the female, was from Disney, right?
Yeah.
So she was his handler from the movie company. Hannah, who had brought me in and introduced me, has now left this room. We're in like this office, and I just go off the rails. That's all. Like, I was just being nice. I was being a nice guy, and I just didn't shut up for like 5 minutes straight. And
that's sometimes your Caseyism. Like, you don't know when to end it.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Well, so I had 2 or 3 different times talked myself into a corner.
Well, let me jump in here also. Throughout the years, and it used to be the thing where I had asked, if you realized this story was not going anywhere, and then an asteroid hit the Earth.
Yes.
I asked you to say, and then an asteroid hit the Earth, and we all died.
Right. So there were a couple of, and listen, this is Steve from Stranger Things, and and prior to this, I thought maybe I was going to have to do a Q&A with him, so I did a little bit of research about him, and so I knew a little bit more about this gentleman. And as it turns out, I wasn't doing a Q&A; I was just introducing him, and that's fine. Yeah. So. Hannah's not there. I know, like, I have to leave. I have to get out of here. Like, I am, I'm
in a pretzel loop.
I have overstayed my welcome. I have moved on from pretzels. I don't even know what I don't know what the bridge from pretzels to Van Wilder was. But now I'm at Van Wilder, and because Ryan Reynolds is in Van Wilder.
Sure.
All right. So,
Sure.
And I'm relaying the story.
another icebreaker.
I had a really great interaction and encounter with Ryan Reynolds at the Van Wilder screening and press junket in Panama City, and I'm relaying this story, and then I just hear a knock at the door. And I'm like, okay, let me answer the door. It's Hannah from Allied Advertising. So I open the door, and she goes, hey, there's some people out here who want to have their picture taken with you. And I go, oh, okay, And I start walking out the door. I get halfway out the door, and I go...
You weren't talking to me, were you?
Wait, no. No.
No, what?
She was talking to me.
Okay, all right.
All right. But I kind of made a joke like, Joe, no, they want some pictures. And she goes, no, they want pictures with you, with me. I'm like, oh, okay. And I walk halfway out the door, and it dawns on me that there's nobody out there to take pictures with me.
Oh my God.
The girl from Disney
Oh, God, said-
essentially texted Hannah like, dude, get this guy the F out of here.
Oh no. Oh no.
Right? And it dawns on me, and I step out the door.
Oh God.
And then I turn back. I go, wait a second.
Oh God.
I go, did you send her a text message to tell her to come and get me?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
She did. She flat out did. I go, you did. I go, it's fine. I go, I get it. I go, I'm so sorry, man. Listen, sometimes I have no chill or whatever. But I go, I know you totally did that, right? And then I shut the door and I walk away with Hannah and I go, did she send the text message? She goes, yeah, she did. I was like, oh my God. And listen, I don't care that I called her out on it. I don't.
No.
That's
if you're going to do it, you got to own it.
Yeah. I'm like, and you did. I don't know what the text to Hannah said. I don't know if it was like, hey,
get this guy.
We have a new Daily Rush video for you to check out, and the title is Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Carl Palmer loves Barney Miller. And it says, obviously, when you say Barney Miller, you play the longest fart you have. Yeah. You can go to WMMR.com /Daily Rush to see this video and any other that you have missed. And it's sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. You can learn more at xfinity.com.
There was a hilarious video that someone sent me, and I couldn't get it to, once I played it, sort of disappeared, but it was Hal Linden on his birthday, Preston.
Yeah.
And somebody did a deep fake of Hal Linden going, Harry Roll.
Okay.
It was just a picture of Hal Linden that looked particularly old.
Oh, I need to see that.
And I was like, what are the odds?
I absolutely need to see that. Hey, I want to go back to a news story that Kathy had this morning. A guy was carjacked.
Yes.
In his own driveway. People got in. They held him at gunpoint, right,
Yeah,
Kath?
so they came up and pretended to be a solar panel, I guess, salesman or whatever. And when the guy wouldn't engage in conversation, he declined the offer. The guy pulled out a gun and forced him into his own car, drove him around to different ATMs, and the guy eventually had an opportunity to jump out of the car.
Now, see, if somebody comes up and offers me solar paneling, I pull a gun on them.
Yes.
That's the way it usually works.
Get out of here with that talk. You don't know what happened to my grandmother.
No, but listen. The wild part about this is the guy jumped out of the moving vehicle to get away.
And you raised the question. We see it countless times. We have had stories. You've had a story in the Bizarre File where someone eludes a captor or a kidnapping by jumping out.
Yeah.
And people have, will ditch motorcycles or when they're, to me, that's got to be like a 1 in 10 shot that's going to work out well for you.
And a regular movie trope is jumping off of a moving train.
Right.
Come on,
onto
man.
a car, then onto a motorcycle.
Then onto a motorcycle.
And then you go through a loop-de-loop.
I mean, the only time I would ever jump off of a moving train is if it was going over a bridge, over, body of water. Yeah.
What if even if it was like 200 or 300 feet up? There's a scene in Top Secret where the Val Kilmer comedy where they go down into the water and they sink down and they have a bar fight underwater.
It's the best.
It's a great sequence.
It's one of the best sequences.
You know that when you hit the water, just jumping if you've gone to a resort and done one of those cliff things, and you hit the water. I hit the water one time a little bit wrong, and my side was bruised up. If you're on a moving vehicle and you jump,
I'm curious if anybody's had that experience before. Anybody listening has jumped out of a moving car before. 215-263 WMMR is the number. We're actually watching a video of a guy jumping off of a moving train into a body of water, and apparently he gets knocked out when he does it.
You got to think of the velocity, and that water, depending on your altitude and or speed, can be like hitting the ground.
Absolutely. But I'm curious if anybody, for one reason or another, whether it's out of sheer stupidity or out of necessity,
had to jump out of a moving vehicle.
That you jumped out of a moving vehicle before, give us a call, 215-263-WMMR. That is the number. I've never done it. I've never had a reason to do it.
You ever you fell off a bike, though. You fell off a...
I've done that stuff, yeah.
I mean,
I've had
on a motorcycle, yeah.
I've had motorcycle accidents. Close I've had to me personally being involved with someone falling out of a moving vehicle was... I was driving, my sister had this little pickup truck, and I was driving it. I borrowed it for whatever reason, and we always thought it was kind of fun to throw people in the bed of the truck. You really can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And this guy that I was friends with, I'll never forget it, Rick Thompson, and Rick was kind of a heavier guy. He was in the bed of the truck, and he was standing up. And now we're driving in the neighborhood, okay? So it wasn't like I was out on a road.
Yeah.
But we're driving in a neighborhood. He's standing up. I thought it would be funny to slam on the brakes.
Oh, man.
I did. He tumbled over the cab of the truck, onto the hood, and out into the street.
God,
I
dude.
mean,
that could have been serious.
I know.
Is he okay?
It was hilarious.
He
was okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
He was fine.
You can't help
But I mean,
him
it was like, it sounded like, a boulder rolling across the top of the truck.
It's wild. You used to see people do that all the time, sitting in the back like that.
Oh, I know. I used to do it, yeah. Our family would throw us in the back.
My
of it. That's
baseball
where you
coach
would
had
go.
the entire team in the back of his car.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about the Subaru Brat. Wasn't that the one that had
yeah.
the seats?
Yeah, but at least they had seatbelts.
Yeah, but it was the coolest. Everyone wanted to ride the back.
But jumping out of a moving vehicle, I mean, you've got to, if you're going to do it,
Make sure it stops first.
well, you need to, you're going to have to roll, obviously.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, and so the door opens, I mean, like getting out, or do you want to be facing the direction that the vehicle is going?
I think you would go.
I don't know,
right,
man.
So my take would be, if the vehicle's moving forward, you want to jump back.
You're right, Steve.
To kind of give you a little bit of momentum the other
Is that
way.
right? Do you have the explanation?
So this is from WikiHow, and so it says what you mainly want to make sure is that you don't get run over by the car. So you should jump backwards and away from the car. Try to propel yourself at a 45-degree angle from the rear of the vehicle. Jump far to avoid the car, and make sure your head is pointed further behind the car than your feet.
45-degree angle.
All right.
Okay, so you're jumping off. I assume that we're not talking vertically. We're talking to the car's origin. All right, so that would make sense. Still wouldn't want to do it.
No. I was watching a video the other day. It's a little bit different than what we're talking about, but a guy, and it was, it was on Instagram. It was a series of fails and things like that. And
which are great.
So a guy is, he's backing his boat down into a boat ramp. Okay. So he gets the boat most of the way down in the water, puts the vehicle in park, or he thinks he does, and gets up into the boat. So the truck starts rolling backwards. So he doesn't want his truck to go into the water.
Yeah.
So he jumps off of the boat, lands funky, and I mean comes within inches of that truck tire rolling over his head. I mean, he moved in just the right time. It would have killed him. Would have flat out killed the guy, man. And so, but he had to jump off to save the vehicle.
If you go to
it was crazy
to stunt person school, is that like one of the first things you lose? That you learn is like jumping off a train or jumping off a building.
I think it's part. It would have to be part of it. Now they can, if you look at like the what's considered at the absolute zenith of stunt work these days are the John Wick movies, Nick, and I remember watching some of the guys break down, like getting hit by a car backing up with the door open and all these things that they're doing practically. I think that skill set would be an essential part of being a stuntman.
Because they end up in movies and TV shows all the time.
And even soap opera.
All right, so there's some more details. You want to try to find a soft landing place, so if there's like grass as opposed to the cement. And then it says the way to land properly is you want to tuck your body and wrap your arms, like almost like you're tucking yourself into a ball.
Right.
So wrap your arms around yourself as much as you can.
Would it be wise at that point, Kathy, to sort of gently bite your tongue?
No, but they say try to actually land on your back. You don't want to, put your hands down or land on your side. And once you land, roll. They want you to. They say to roll.
Yeah.
So you're in a in a sort of a seated, quasi hunched over thing when you jump out, twirl, and go to your back, right?
I want you to, they say to land on your back. This is incredible that this is actually out there and
You
explained.
get
for us.
pavement burns on your hiney.
I'm going to go to some calls. I'm going to go to Rick first. Hi, Rick. You are on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem, bud. What's your story, man?
Well, my story is back in the day. Are you familiar with Frankfurt Avenue at all and the 66 bus?
Yeah.
Frankfurt Avenue, yeah.
Well, we used to ride the 66 on the back of it when we were kids, from Bridge Street all the way to Knights Road. Nobody would bother you. It was in the 70s. So I remember coming back home. Me and his kid, Jerry Leinenbach, were on the back of the bus, and it's going pretty fast, really fast. And he's like, well, I live here. I'm going to jump off.
What?
And I kept telling him, Jerry, don't jump off the bus. Don't jump off the bus.
Oh, no.
He jumped off the 66, and he went one step, two step, and he was a human brush burn after that.
So he tried to jump off.
His nose, even the tip of his nose got burnt.
So he tried to jump off and keep running?
Well, he went one step, two step, and then momentum took over.
Yeah, he was going to try to run with the speed of the bus.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but we used to ride that 66 all the time when we were kids. Nobody did anything.
Hey, at any point did you actually get in the vehicle, or was it always on the outside?
We were always on the outside.
Wow. All right,
and
thanks.
Just think that electrical line is right there. I mean,
Yeah.
how stupid we were.
Flirting with death, buddy. Absolutely. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Do you ever see the people on treadmills that will try to get it at high speed and jump immediately onto it and start running? That's like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw footage of have you seen the treadmills that are designed with the curve so that people can like book
sprint
super speed?
Right.
I saw a dude try to do that. Exact thing.
Yeah.
Launched up against the wall behind him.
Yeah.
On a regular people mover, Preston.
Yeah.
In the airport,
Yes.
people misjudge it.
Yep. Saw it happen this past week. Yes,
No,
Kathy.
I was on a treadmill once, and somebody tried to walk behind me, like just take one step on the treadmill and then go to the treadmill
No.
next to me.
No.
She slammed into the wall behind me. We were like, oh my God.
I have next Michael on the line. Yo, Michael, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good. What's up, buddy?
All right, so listen, I was a junior in high school out in New Jersey. I was hanging out with my buddy Kevin. We were playing basketball, and we thought it was going to be a good idea to go down to the quarry pits. My buddy Kevin had this two-door Explorer, and it was like could fit like maybe 4 people at the most. He had 3 buddies already, so I hung out on the outside. We're going down to the quarry pit.
Okay.
Before we can even make it there, an undercover cop passes up. Everybody panics. Meanwhile, I have nowhere to go. So as soon as I heard cop, I launched myself off the car, tumbled, hit hard.
Oh.
The funny part was I had to go to a junior prom that night, and I still had to go.
So were you all bruised up? Nothing broken?
Oh, I broke my wrist, but I had to cast it the whole time I was there. I looked horrible, but I said, you know what? I'll still make my way through this.
Yeah, no.
Did you get like road rash or anything like that?
Oh, I had more than road rash. When I knew I had a broken bone, it was worse.
Wow.
Man.
Nasty.
Crazy.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
My fiance and I listen to you guys every morning.
Oh.
And this goes out to Nick. You came up with a story about rye bread. That's actually our safe word in bed. Just so you know.
Rye bread.
Oh my God! Wait until my brothers hear that. That yard work, which became rye bread, is now your safe word. That's thank you for sharing.
Rye bread.
Rye bread.
All right, thank you, Michael.
We didn't say rye bread.
Tell your fiance I said hi.
All right, let me go next to I have Lou on the phone. Hey, Lou. Good morning. It's Lou. Of course.
Of course, Lou jumped off a movie.
Yeah. All right, Lou. What'd you jump off of?
I was out in Lake Tahoe, and a buddy had a speedboat, and I thought, because I've done it before, but not this way, I'm going to dive off the speedboat. But when I did, I dove backwards, facing back, which meant the water hits me in the chest, knocked the wind out of me.
Oh.
Now I'm in the water, and I can feel myself sinking because I have no more wind and I have no breath.
Yeah.
I felt like it was an act of God. Something pushed me back to the surface. Because I seen the surface as I'm floating down. I felt like a hand pull me up.
It was a mermaid.
I'm floating in 55-degree water, and they didn't know I dove off yet.
Dude, you by all rights, you should have been dead.
And they didn't know. When did they notice that Lou was missing?
Maybe about, I'd say after 30 seconds while I'm in there. Like, it was and that's a long time while they're cruising on a speedboat.
Yeah.
They had to spin the boat. Then I find out later that there was a guy that was died of exposure. He was in the water for 12 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
My name is Ariel, and I rescued your friend Lou.
I was a little adventurous when I was a kid.
Wow,
How fast do you think you guys were going, Lou, when you jumped off?
Well, the speedboat wasn't full speed, but it was going fast enough where I almost skipped.
Yeah, because like 30 miles an hour on the water feels like you're doing 60 miles an hour.
Have you ever fallen like?
It wasn't 60, but it was about, say, 30 miles an hour.
That's fast.
That's hauling ass, dude.
When you're water skiing and you're booking along, if you fall, like I've done it once or twice, where you literally skip on the water.
Yep, most definitely. Yep. All right, Lou. Thanks, buddy. Good to talk to you. Who's Lou? All right, we'll see you. Let me go to Dana next. Hi, Dana. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Dana?
First of all, this is crossing something off my bucket list, talking to Preston Elliott.
You're on. Love you, Dana. Thank you for calling in.
So I was little-ish. I was about 8 years old, and I was in a car with my mom, and she had just dropped off her friend out of the front seat, so I hopped over, from the back seat. No seatbelts at that time, whatever. I lean against the door, and her friend hadn't closed it properly, so going around a corner at about, I'd say like 35, 40 miles an hour.
Ooh.
The door opens, and I just roll right out of the car.
Do you remember? Do you remember what that felt like?
No, not really. 'Cause I was just like, holy crap! What just happened?
Yes, I used to be in that vehicle.
Well, and I remember, there was this old couple behind me in this giant powder blue car, and they just had this look of horror on their face, like, holy crap, this girl just rolled out of the car.
I bet you. So that used to be before they had like child locks and that it would automatically kick in the back of vehicles. You'd hear stories a lot. You could open the door while it was moving.
Yeah, and
you'd hear stories like that a lot more frequently. But Jesus, you're 8 years old.
Dana, any injuries?
I had on a big, ugly corduroy coat that I hated, but I just got scrapes on my wrists, and that was it.
It's miraculous.
Ugly corduroy coat.
So always wear corduroy when you're driving.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dana. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you.
Too. All right, we'll
Preston,
see ya.
it's like that scene in Parenthood when the car comes rounding the corner.
Yeah.
And the sun comes rolling out.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly
what
he
he
was
jumped out of the
thrown
car.
out of a moving car, but yeah.
And Jason Robards asks, he goes, what was that about? And he goes, oh, friends are just dropping me off. He goes, friends, slow down. They even stop.
So even if you've been thrown out of a car, we'd like to hear about that. I'm going to go to Brian next. Hey, Brian, morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, so I was working for a company that one of our details was to basically go pick up the trucks that the guys were working out of, and the trucks were up by Cabela's, up in the north area of Cabela's. You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely familiar.
Up in the mountains,
Okay.
I forget the township. So anyway,
Okay.
So where the trucks were up on top of a mountain ridge, on top like where a lookout would be. So we had to go up this mountainous road up an incline that was completely snow covered. It was just me and a guy in a Ranger. We go up halfway up the hill. We start sliding backwards. We're keep on sliding, and we're trying to control the truck. We got a cliff on the left side, mountains to the right.
Dude,
whoa.
No guardrail, no nothing. So we're trying to control it. Nothing's working for us, and I'm the passenger. So I said, I'm sorry, buddy. I got a bolt. I open up the car door, and I just jump out.
Wow.
So you're not facing the cliffside at this point, or are you?
I'm sorry?
Were you facing the cliffside at that point, or were you?
I was facing the mountainside.
Okay.
The side was the cliffside. And I just told the guy, his name was DeMonte, I said, sorry, dude, I'm out of here. I got to go.
Oh, my God.
Santa's got to go.
Yeah, so I jumped out of the truck, and he literally did a 360 as he's going down this hill. And then luckily, instead of going off the cliff, he plows into the mountainside, and it stops the truck.
Oh, my.
Santa's got to go.
Oh, my.
I think I would have done the same thing. If you think you're going off a cliff, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So, Brian, I guess at that point, since you guys were sliding, you weren't really going that fast at that point. So jumping out wasn't, like you didn't get hurt or anything, did you?
No, we weren't going too fast, but I wasn't sticking around for too much longer.
Hell no, dude. A cliff? Are you kidding me? And also, so if you're sliding backwards, that means you're jumping out with the door open.
Yeah.
That's got to be hard to do because you might get hit by the door. It could drag you under the car.
Exactly. I just jumped and tucked my hands in, and I just rolled. Hopefully the car wasn't going to run me over or anything like that.
And then a badger dragged you to safety.
Wow.
Wow, man. That's a hell of a story.
That's out of a movie.
Yeah.
Cliff and the whole thing. Wow. All right.
I got pictures of it and everything.
Wow.
You had the presence of mind to photograph yourself.
What did he say? What was his name, by the way?
DeMonte.
What did DeMonte say?
Oh, my God.
After you bailed on him and left him
dick.
The only thing I can remember him saying was, oh, and then I was gone.
Could you? I can't even imagine.
This guy's hanging in the vehicle trying to keep it from going off a cliff.
Wow.
But I'm with you. I would have jumped.
Yeah, well, there's nothing he could have done at that point,
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Brian.
Why have two people die?
Insane. Man. All right, here you go. Let's go to, we have another Lou on the line. Lou, good morning.
Good morning. The end is purple.
The end is purple.
Nothing we have learned. It is that the end is purple. Lou, what's up, buddy?
The end is purple.
I have a story about my new wife. We've been married like 2 years now, but we've always been friends for years now, almost like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, she was with another guy. She was dating someone else. We were friends. She calls me one night, I'm out and, just hanging out with friends. And she's like, Lou, I did it. I'm finally done. I'm done with this MFer. I'm finished. And I'm like, well, what happened? What's going on? She's like, I just jumped out of the car. I was done with them. So she's on Frankfurt Avenue, somewhere around Kaufman up in the northeast area.
What is it about Frankfurt Avenue?
This is second Frankfurt Avenue.
If you're looking to do some car jumping.
Moving vehicle story we've had. All right, so what happened?
So she just says F it, and the guy she's arguing with her at the time boyfriend, and that was it. She was just like, you know what, I'm done, and she's like, I'll do you one better, and just literally jumped out of the car and then just walked away.
So she jumped, Lou. She jumped out of the car as it was moving.
Oh yeah, she was doing about 25 miles an hour at least. Whatever the speed limits are around there, she didn't care. She was
I thought maybe going to this call that maybe he was an abusive boyfriend or something like that, and she was escaping.
No.
Okay,
that's just my wife.
That's my gal. Yeah. She's just making a point.
Kate.
I'm going to suggest right now that they lower the speed limit on Frankfurt Avenue, just since that's apparently where people love to jump out of vehicles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably because of my wife. Oh, by the way, I love you, Mary Kate. Be safe on the road today.
Right. No car jumping now.
No. All right. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate you sharing the story, man. All right. We have time for one more, and Troy has been on hold the longest, so I'm going to go to him. Hi, Troy. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed. How you doing?
Good, Bob. We were talking about people who had to jump out of a moving vehicle.
Yes. I was doing baseball boosters, and we were selling them going door to door. And back in the time when you could sit in the back of a pickup truck, the coach decided we were going to Ponderosa. And I said, no, I got to go to work. And he wasn't stopping. So I jumped out, and I didn't know anything about inertia or anything like that at the time. And I rolled backwards up a hill. And with all the baseball team there, I had to play it off like I wasn't hurt. But
I'm fine.
You know what? Let's go to Ponderosa.
But there was another time
they have bottomless coffee.
Trying to jump into a moving vehicle.
Oh.
my brother and I were in the back of my grandmother's van, and we kept jumping out and jumping back in. And she decided to pick up the speed, and I landed on my knees. That wasn't too fun either.
Oh, outside on the ground?
What was that?
You landed on the ground on your knees or in the car on your knees?
No, on the ground. On my knees, so she got the speed up a little bit, and
Well,
I missed.
that's a discussion for another time. Thank you, Troy, of jumping into a moving vehicle. We'll cover that another day.
We should do another subtopic. What popular restaurant chain were you heading to when you dove out of a car?
Yes, and only if it's on Frankfurt Avenue. Wow.
Have you seen the footage of the dude? I think he's doing a stunt. He goes through the front of a vehicle as it's moving. There are actually people sitting in the vehicle. It's like a bus. And he goes through the front of where the windshield's been removed.
Yeah.
Through it and out the back.
Yeah.
Right?
I have seen that.
Wait, without touching
without touching the people, without touching the vehicle, he goes right through it.
Yeah, he's standing on like some sort of like table or something like that, right?
And the vehicle has to get up to a certain speed for him to fly through.
I've seen the guys jump over moving cars
this
before,
is
so
through.
something like that, but
Yeah.
through it. Wow. So because you would have to have enough room,
right,
to fall because you're going to fall no matter what.
Right, as you're moving, you're descending, so the vehicle has to be traveling at a significant enough speed that you don't descend onto the vehicle as it's moving. It's insane.
I think we have our next month of stunts for this Casey.
Let's get a spot on Frankfurt right now.
Event coming up. Wow. All right. Well, anyhow,
Here it
thank
is,
you.
Preston.
Thank you for the calls. Oh, you know what? I did see this. Yeah, they had set that. They had planned that for quite a while. Yeah. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. All right. Thank you for the calls. We do appreciate it. A guy had to do it in real life for a life or death situation. Jumped out of the car, saved his life.
Might be worth practicing it in case you need to use it.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. But while you're considering that, you can text in the word secret because we have a prize to give away for the secret text word today. Tickets to see Nothing But Thieves. They're going to be playing Friday, September 15th at the Fillmore. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Brett Porsche's going to have some more tickets to give away later today, but you can get in the running for that. Now, we want you to stick around. When we return, as close to 8 o'clock as we can get it, we're going to reveal the clue, the little mission that we have for you for the presidency photo hunt to win a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts. We'll have that when we get back, as well as the Bizarre File, so hang out.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMM.
93.3 WMM.
Ask what I want to know what the text said.
I would, you know what? I will ask her, but she confirmed that no, there was nobody out there to take pictures with me. So now I'm standing outside of this room, and there's a step and repeat background. Nobody's there to take their picture with me, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, like.
Now you're thinking.
I was a child at this point, like I was so embarrassed, and I was like so inside my own head, and I was like, this is terrible. I am so embarrassed. I almost felt like crying, and then because like I was depressed, I was like I legit got depressed at who I am as a person, like and then I was like a little bit mad. I'm like, but I was being nice, you know what I mean? Like I'm a nice person, but like. God, Case, you're a 46-year-old man. You should freaking know. You have met a celebrity before. Like, stop being such an a-hole.
You were just excited over pretzels.
I was excited over
that. Was the problem. You were excited over great pretzels, and
I still want to open a franchise, and it's not that expensive to open a franchise. My wife said, no, I'm not allowed to open a Wetzel's Pretzels franchise. And I was trying to think of, like, where could I open a Wetzel's Pretzels franchise? Where could I?
I thought this would have been you going, I need to go back and apologize right now, and then go back in there, and then they're with this guy again. Yeah. We can't get rid of him here.
What was the converse? Like, what was the... There was no conversation, right? Was it just you talking and not ending?
Right. All right. So, no, I try to get people involved in said conversation. So the questions were asked, I think, I'm pretty sure.
Do you recall a real exchange, like a conversation, or did you ask them to write down their questions and submit them to you?
I don't know.
So was there any point at which...
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, there were questions asked, and you didn't breathe to let them answer.
I had another moment over the weekend, too. Where
Well, wait. Before you go to that, to this point, did you encounter them again? Did you get a chance to apologize to him, our buddy from Stranger?
I talked to the guy.
Yeah.
All right, so I never talked to the girl again from Disney. I talked to the guy. So I had gone into the theater after I had walked away, and hung my head in shame for 10 to 15 minutes and texted you guys to try and make myself feel a little bit better. I was then asked to go into the theater to let people, because they collect your phones a lot of times before. So they had just gotten approval to let everybody have their phones back, and then I announced a surprise to hey, by the way, we have one of the stars here, so if you want to take a picture while he's in the theater, you can go get your cameras now. So I did that, and then I brought Joe on to the stage, and while Joe was addressing the crowd, I talked to the gentleman. I go, yo, man, I'm so sorry. I go, listen, sometimes I have no chill. And he was so cool. He goes, dude, he's like, you were fine. He's like, he's like, I want to hear the rest of the story.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm like, this guy, you're
Was
lying.
he texting while he said that?
No. I'm like, you're lying, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And
you know
then
how sometimes we have these events and there's the person who's in charge of making sure that the other person's okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if the publicist did that on Joe's behalf and he didn't care at all. Like
there's a good chance that was the case.
And
Like I said,
she's just trying to put up a barrier and get out in front of a situation, because I've been at these things before, and I've been at them with you, and you're just friendly and you're you're totally fine. But every now and then, somebody gets weirded out.
You're speaking the truth. 9 times out of 10, it is not the celebrity who has put these restrictions on. It is the handler.
Or it could be like that scene in The Running Man where Richard Dawson, the guy mops over his feet and he goes, hey, you're doing a great job. And he walks in the other room. If that a-hole is working here, later on today, you're going to be mopping the floor. But is there a chance maybe we could see about getting Joe on to talk to him and just say,
hey, are we okay? I'm really sorry.
I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to interview him anyway.
I would too. I really would love to have an opportunity to perhaps.
Well, go to the Disney rep. She was impressed.
Yeah, I know. No, here's the deal. If we were to get Joe on, he's not gonna be like, yeah, dude. He's going to be very diplomatic in that. But
Casey, I've had more moments in my life like that where I've walked out of a room and just felt horrible about myself for whatever way I reacted or have just presented myself, and it's a common thing, I mean,
I told you guys about this.
It lives in you.
Yeah, it does.
I told you guys about this, and I'll just call it an argument that I had in a Wawa parking lot too long ago. And I felt worse about this encounter than I did about that encounter. I really did. I felt worse about myself.
And that one almost came to blows.
No, it did.
Yeah.
It did. And I won't go into details, but I will let everybody know that I was in the wrong to begin with. But I had a very similar experience on Saturday night at the Fish concert. I was talking to a gentleman named Dave who he was telling me about these guys that were standing behind me, and one of the guys just so happens to be a guitarist of a band that I actually just started listening to, and I was like, what?
Pretzels!
I'm like, oh my God, Corey Wong!
Pretzels! I like pretzels! Do you like pretzels?
You ever had a Wetzel's pretzel? No. So a guy's name's Corey Wong, and he's the guitarist for a band Wolfpack. And I
love Wolfpack.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do I. And I started going a little bit off the rails. And then Dave, who introduced us, he sort of had to qualify it. Hey, this guy is the producer for the #1 morning show in Philadelphia. Yeah. And that's what he says. And I'm like, oh, man.
I did it again.
I'm doing it again. I'm like, he's totally, he's saying to this guy, this dude's not just although I am.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, let's reel it back a little bit. But this one time when you did this, no. So I tried to reel it back.
Pretzel bread. I like bread. So listen,
I didn't feel as
you
bad about
probably
that
felt
encounter.
it was worse than it was because now you were hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
It's challenging though too, because when you're with friends, when you're with loved ones, everybody smiles and nods and it's cool. When you're with strangers or somebody you've never met before, it changes the dynamic. And you have no idea what was going through Joe Keery's head. I'm sure he's fine and probably hasn't thought about it since then.
Right. Well, and
that's the subject of his new movie.
Now, I've also been on the receiving end of a few of these experiences, right? People listen to the show and they're huge fans. Or, somebody will introduce me to somebody who clearly doesn't listen to the show, and that's fine, too. And now these people have to act like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You don't have to listen. I know you don't, and it's fun. But because of that, because of my experience that I had with Joe Keery, and to anybody, if you want to come up and say hi to me at a restaurant or a Wawa or where, like, please do it.
Absolutely.
Because the deal is, like, I don't have a job if it's not for you that's listening right now. Like, it just, it's as simple as that. Like, all these great luxuries that I'm able to provide for my family are a direct result of you in your car or your home or your office or whatever listening to me right now. And so, same thing for you, Joe Keery. No.
Pretzels! Pretzels!
Wouldn't it be great if you guys open up a pretzel franchise, you and Joe Keery? You know?
I just want to own it by myself.
Local broadcasters open up a Wetzel's Pretzels with one of the stars of Stranger Things.
This is my thing. This is not Joe Keery's thing. This is my thing. And
I was trying to find a bridge.
No, there is no bridge. And you know what? And so at the very end of the night, an asteroid hit and we all died.
Right.
There you go.
So the worst part of this whole story, guys, is once I got done introducing
All right, we're getting right back into it. It is 7:55, and in about 30 seconds, we're going to go live on Fox Good Day. So, Kath will hold off on traffic and get to that in a moment. Plus, we will have your opportunity to go to Universal Orlando Resorts on us. It is a trip that we have to give away, and we'll have a clue with this little photo hunt contest that we're doing, and we'll get to that. We'll talk to our gang at Fox 29, and then we'll do traffic, and then we'll have your chance to win with that. So just a heads up, that's the timeline. We want you to win. So we should hear some music any moment now.
Hey, Preston and Steve, everybody over there at MMR. this is a question we had posed for our listeners and the viewers, and to your listeners and viewers. What's the weirdest thing, what's the rudest thing people do at concerts? Steve, why don't you start us off?
Well, there's the obvious, is that you're the standing. If people are sitting down and they stand in front of you, that's a given. Now, I'm fine if it is like a real barn burner song and everyone's getting up, but don't stand up during the ballad, and be aware of the people behind you. That drives me crazy. That's my number one main issue, and that's why I try to buy seats at the edge of like a balcony or whatever, so that I don't have to deal with that.
I'm same thing, exact same thing. I remember
It's rude.
There's been a couple of concerts in particular where, if everyone else is sitting down, it's time to sit down. And and so there are some shows where you stand the entire time. That's fine. That's totally cool. But I remember two instances in particular. Paul McCartney. I took my family to go see Paul McCartney. And we had great seats. And for some reason, the two people in front of us decided we are standing no matter what for the entire show, even though everyone else had sat down.
Hey, Baryshnikov, sit down.
God. And it happened at another show, and it absolutely it irritates me. Also, one of the ruder things that you can do, I think, is get passed out, drunk, wasted at a concert. And I've had people puking next to me and lovely little
But you were
experiences
passed
like
out,
that.
so you didn't notice.
I didn't know. Somebody told me about it afterwards, but it's just, a little decorum. You know?
Yeah. It's common civility.
Yeah.
Also, you know what? I'm sorry. Here's another quick thing. If say the artist is addressing the crowd and speaking, when other people start having a loud conversation or something like that, that's part of the show too.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. It depends on the acts that you're seeing. It's like it's when my husband drags my son to go see like Bob Dylan. Like that crew's going to be a sit down, pay attention, and listen, as opposed to like edge of your sheets.
For
with
me,
your.
that would be.
Well, what you do during a Bob Dylan concert is you keep leaning over and saying, "What is he singing? What song is this?" Because it never sounds like what you. Yeah, but those are just common things.
How are you on videotaping the whole darn thing?
No.
That you'll never look at again.
Here's another one. People who bring full iPads to concerts and hold them up as if suddenly they're Cecil B. DeMille, and filming the whole. Knock it off.
Mike, I think it's fine for like one or two songs. The rest of the time, put your phone away because you're not in the moment anymore.
Exactly.
You're really not enjoying the show.
And Mike's right. You're never going to watch it again.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can record the moment to look back on it and remember it fondly, but just put the phone away and enjoy the time that you're there.
What about making out right in front of you?
That's fine.
Well, Nick and I were making out.
It was good.
So
Steve's a good kisser.
we can't really comment. No, listen, don't lead us to a precipice and not follow through. That's my complaint. If you started it, complete it.
I'm sorry, Steve.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you later, guys. All right. Let us go ahead and get a look at traffic, and then it'll be right at about 8 o'clock, and we'll get over to that Universal Orlando Resorts trip that we have to give away. Kathy, what's going on so far this morning?
95 is a mess this morning, northbound between Naaman's Road and Chichester Avenue. This is in Newcastle. 2 left lanes are blocked, so you are stopped there. You're also stopped north on 95 between 452 Market Street and Chestnut Street. That's an accident. That one finally off to the shoulder, but you are still stopped in the area. South on 95. Jams Academy through to Bridge Street, the Betsy Ross Bridge to Girard, the Vine westbound, slowing the length 95 to the Schuylkill westbound, heavy Patch Young to south. And then from the boulevard out to Conshohocken, there's an accident that's off to the shoulder. On the eastbound side, you're slow the boulevard into the Vine. Blue Road southbound at Conshohocken. The disabled vehicle was cleared from there. You are slow back to the mid-county tolls, but it is moving. 30 bypass eastbound jams Reesville Road to 113. 422 eastbound. Heavy from 29 to 23 on the Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound. You're slowing from Willow Grove to the mid-county tolls. An accident on 42 eastbound between 676 and Route 130 in Gloucester City. It's off to the shoulder. 42 north jams from Coles Road to 55 and then 55 northbound heavy Deptford to 42. This traffic report brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Spring back to life at Whole Foods Market. Get 5 yellow mangoes for just $4.50 with Prime through March 28th. Pounce on this juicy deal now. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Let's give away a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts. But let's first have you take a look at what you need to find out the information. All right, it's our photo hunt challenge. And your chance to win that trip to Universal Orlando Resort happening right now. Here is your clue. Who is on the jet ski? Easy question. Go to PrestonandSteve.com and look through the Universal Photo Hunt Challenge photo gallery to find the answer. And you could win a trip for 2 to Universal Orlando Resort with flights provided by Spirit. Now, we are going to ask you to call in later on with that answer. So you have some time to go and take a look for this now. I'm not asking for you to call in now. I just want you to go and do the research, hang on to that answer, and then in a little while, we will tell you to call in. So the question is, who is on the jet ski? And from sending you on a high-speed coaster to putting a towering volcano right outside your hotel room, nobody tests the limits of absolute awesome like Universal Orlando Resort. For more information, go to WMMR.com. But right now, we need you to find out who's on the jet ski and stay with us this morning.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And this morning is brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and J-Dog Carpet Cleaning. Got junk, want it gone? Got floors, want them clean?
Yeah.
Call J-Dog Junk Removal and J-Dog Carpet Cleaning. Veteran-owned and operated. Started right here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Call 844-GET-JDOG or visit jdog.com. Well, a miniature version of King Kong played out in the middle of an Indian market square when a monkey grabbed a dog and then began jumping from rooftop to rooftop with the dog.
This has happened before. They'll actually throw the dogs off the roofs.
A bystander in the city of Jaipur had captured the shocking moment that the monkey was spotted on the rooftop of a local business on Saturday with a black and white dog in his hands. The dog appeared to be trying to free itself from the simian's grip, with the monkey effortlessly holding on as it looked out into the crowd. When the monkey appeared to notice the attention, it held onto the dog with one hand and leapt to a nearby balcony before making a harrowing jump to another rooftop to make its getaway. Video cuts as the crowd was laughing at the monkey's escapades, and it remains unclear what happened to the poor dog. Instances like this, like Steve said, are not uncommon. And in fact, in Jaipur, houses a massive Hindu temple complex that is home to a large colony of monkeys, which has earned it the moniker the Monkey Temple.
The Monkey Temple.
The city has become a tourist destination for those wanting to see the monkeys. However, many travel websites warn that the simians are quick to steal from people and advise visitors to keep their distance from them. While they can be playful, they do have a dark history when it comes to dogs. 2 monkeys reportedly killed around 250 dogs in 2021.
I don't want to talk about it.
For revenge in Maharashtra. The primates were believed to have slaughtered the dogs by dragging them to the tops of buildings and trees and then dropping them to their deaths as retaliation against a canine who killed one of their babies. Yeah. So they definitely
that's
Payback.
Terrifying.
Is what they're all about.
Remember the footage of the one of them grabbing a kid off a small bicycle?
Yeah, it's insane.
We're crazy.
All right, I love this story. A student who'd been enjoying a meatball sandwich while sitting an online test was left distraught after one meatball dropped onto her keyboard, landing on an unfortunate button. She claimed it caused the economics test to be submitted before she had time to answer the majority of the questions. To her dismay, Sam Lee, who studies at the University of Georgia, ended up receiving a disappointing grade for the test, blaming the meatball.
I might consider changing the grade if you could rock me one of them meatballs.
Hoping to reset it, she had decided to explain the bizarre situation to her professor in an email, and she shared it on Twitter. She wrote, "I had some technical difficulties and outside distractions during the test today. Something hit my computer and caused it to submit the test when I had less than half of the questions answered."
Would you believe that?
She said, by something, I mean a meatball that had tragically fallen onto my keyboard as I was taking the exam. This said meatball caused some malfunctions with my laptop and caused the test to submit itself. I completely understand that a falling meatball is no excuse for the failing grade on this exam.
Yeah.
But is there any possibility of retaking the test? Thankfully, Sam's professor turned out to be a sympathetic sort with a sense of humor, who replied with some amusement that this was certainly a new and unusual excuse for a low score.
We just recently missed National Meatball Day, by the way. We celebrated National Meatball Day last March 9th.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Oh.
and so we have a whole meatball montage from Rocky.
It's all fake, meatball. All fake. Blast off, meatball. No, I'm not yet. Not for the meatball. I got you. We go, baby. Lights up, meatball.
Thunder Lips has gone absolutely berserk.
There you
What
go.
the hell?
That was weird.
That's from Rocky?
It's got to be Rocky 3.
That's good.
That sounds like Mr. T.
Yeah, it's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I would eat bow tie pasta during a test.
So much to Sam's relief, the professor said, but for the reason it seems unlikely that you've made this up.
Yeah.
I've extended your deadline from the Module 6 test until midnight tonight, and I would recommend that you take the test either before or after dinner. So,
Do you like a good meatball sandwich?
oh, hell yes. Absolutely.
I want one right now. Well, and I want to watch Rocky 3 while I eat it.
Residents of a Los Angeles neighborhood said that they have been flooded with mystery Uber Eats deliveries that they did not request. Locals in the city's Highland Park neighborhood said that they have been receiving up to 13 deliveries a day from McDonald's, Taco Bell, Starbucks, and other eateries through Uber Eats during the past 3 weeks. The residents said the deliveries show up at all hours of the night and day. A local man, William Neal, said when it became too much food at once, we'd try to find places to donate it or give it away. Some of the recipients said that they tried calling the phone numbers listed on the orders, but they were all out of service. They noted the prepaid orders always included a tip for the driver.
So someone is buying this food and just sending it out to people.
Yeah.
And they can't trace the payment?
A representative for Uber, the service parent company, said that officials are investigating the origins of the mystery orders. Neighbors said that they do not know why someone would be sending so much food to their homes. But
You
it's
don't
all
think it could
paid
be
for, tips and everything.
One of those monkeys?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all coming around. All right, and then finally, how about this story? A mountain lion attacked a Colorado man as he relaxed in a hot tub over the weekend. Yeah. You think it walked up and said, ooh, soup.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot tub.
The man said that he was sitting with his wife in the in-ground hot tub at a rental property in Nathrop, Colorado, and it was Saturday night, and the mountain lion attacked. He explained that he and his wife were sitting in the hot tub when he felt something grab his head.
You got room for a third?
The couple screamed and splashed water at the animal, which they were able to identify as a mountain lion when the victim's wife shined a flashlight on it. The mountain lion backed up about 20 feet from the couple.
Wow.
And as they continued to scream at the animal, it moved up to the top of the hill where it crouched down and watched them. When the couple got inside the rental home, they cleaned the scratches and they called the property's owner, who alerted officials.
So the mountain lion just went up and then watched them in the hot tub?
Like try to eat the guy.
Right, but after that, you said you repelled.
Oh, yeah. He went up and crouched down and kept an eye on him.
And they stayed there?
When officers
Use your fingers.
When officers arrived, they began searching for the mountain lion, but due to the freezing temperatures and frozen snow on the ground, no tracks were found.
Wow.
Later, a trap was set up nearby in hopes of catching the animal. Somebody from the wildlife management said that we think it's likely the mountain lion saw the man's head move in the darkness at ground level, but didn't recognize that it was people in the hot tub.
That makes sense.
The mountain lion caused 4 scratches on the top of the man's head and near his right ear. The man declined medical assistance for injuries, which authorities described as minor.
That's why they say if you have a hot tub in a more rural area, when you get in, surround it with meatballs.
The couple did the right thing by making noise and shining a light on the mountain lion. Saturday's incident is the first reported mountain lion attack on a human in Colorado this year. So there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. Don't forget, I gave out the clue for Universal Orlando Resorts, the trip that we have to give away in our Photo Hut contest, which is who is on the jet ski. All right, you got to go to PrestonandSteve.com and find out and hang on to that information. Later, I'll ask you to call in with that answer, and we'll give away a trip to somebody. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve. 93.3 WMMR. Is your phone an
Because
apple?
when you're with friends, when you're with loved ones, everybody smiles and nods, and it's cool. When you're with strangers or somebody you've never met before, it changes the dynamic. And you have no idea what was going through Joe Keery's head. I'm sure he's fine and probably hasn't thought about it since then.
Right. Well, and
Or that's the subject of his new movie.
Now, I've also been on the receiving end of a few of these experiences, right? You know, people listen to the show and they're huge fans. Or, like, somebody will introduce me to somebody who clearly doesn't listen to the show, and that's fine, too. And now these people have to act like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you don't have to.
It's okay.
Right. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, like, you don't have to listen. I know you don't, and it's fun. But because of that, like, because of my experience that I had with Joe Keery, and to, anybody, like, if you want to come up and say hi to me at a restaurant or a Wawa or where, like, please do it.
Absolutely.
Because the deal is, like, I don't have a job if it's not for you that's listening right now. Like, it just, it's as simple as that. Like, all these great luxuries that I'm able to provide for my family are a direct result of you in your car or your home or your office or whatever listening to me right now. And so, same thing for you, Joe Keery. No. Pretzels!
Wouldn't it be great if you guys open up a pretzel franchise, you and Joe Keery? You know?
I just want to own it by myself.
Local broadcasters open up a Wetzel's Pretzels with one of the stars of Stranger Things.
This is my thing. This is not Joe Keery's thing. This is my thing. And
I was trying to find a bridge.
No, there is no bridge. And you know what? And so at the very end of the night, an asteroid hit and we all died.
Right.
There you go.
So the worst part of this whole story, guys, is once I got done introducing the film and I walked out of the movie theater, I went to go to Wetzel's Pretzels because I wanted to buy some more to bring home to my family.
They were closed.
It was closed! I was like, what did you do with all those extra pretzels that were in the display case?
When was the last time you remember an all-night pretzel place?
It wasn't that late. It wasn't even 8 o'clock.
Was it as quickly when they introduced you to Joe? Was it as quickly? Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, have you ever had Wetzel's Pretzels before? Was it that quick?
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
It was pretty damn close.
That,
I've seen you do that before.
Yeah.
I've seen you do that type of thing where it's like, and I know what you're doing. You're just looking to have a normal conversation.
It's an icebreaker.
You're gonna charm them.
All right. Well, anyhow, we have to take a break, I think, right?
No, we do. As a matter of fact,
because otherwise I would go to these calls, but we have to.
No, we got to take a break.
The regional manager of Wetzel's Pretzels is on.
Santa's got to go.
He's
Pretzels got to go.
The Northeast region and wants to talk to you about franchise opportunities.
Listen, the closest one here is at the Fashion District. I already checked, and like they're in like North Jersey, but that's the only one that is around here.
All right.
So
I can't believe the winner in all of this is Wetzel's Pretzels.
Right, big time.
You know?
You kidding me? And you got to swing this bigger for me.
All right. Yes, slower too. A slower cadence. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Oh! You got 2! Yeah! And he's getting prepared again. He's like a panther waiting to pounce. He jumps in. 2, 3, 3. Ah! 3! And he's doing the Irish jig. All right. Casey's spying his time. He's in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow. Go.
That's how people die in this sport. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Andy did a herky.
And here we go. This is where it all comes together. All those years of yoga. 2, 3. Yes! Yes! I'd give that 4. I'd give that 4.
Yeah. Squirrels have been laying down flat on their stomachs with their legs stretched out behind them and in front of them. Apparently, this slows them to a complete stop in the soaring temperatures. And though these small mammals might look like they're in stealth mode, it turns out they're trying to cool off. And Steve, it's called splooting.
Splooting?
Yes. Squirrels have been splooting all over Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And an expert said it's...
It's going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
He's going to sploot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sploot. I'm going to sploot. Ladies and gentlemen, John Dorenbos is joining us. Good day, John.
Rockstar, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Anytime, bud. So, dude, it's how long since you've been and performed Magic live? Has there been a pause on that, or we know you haven't been in the area performing in a little while?
Yeah, it's been about a year and a half, right? So we're just getting up and going and excited to do so.
I have to ask you because I mentioned this to Casey. I watched the series Hacks with Gene Smart, which I thought was very funny. You appear in that, correct? That's you as the magician in one scene, correct?
Yeah, it was one of those things where HBO called and they're like, "Hey, HBO Max," and the director's like, "Hey, we need a magician. Gene Smart's this comedian, and will you play yourself?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. So what you're telling me is you want me to be on an HBO Max HBO show as myself?" Yeah, I think I can make that happen.
Right. No, it was a cool scene because there was a big party and she's at this palatial estate, and Caitlin Olsen was there as well. And but that was, you had to be shooting that during COVID restrictions and stuff like that, right? Was there a whole bunch of, I mean, the party seemed packed, but I'm sure they took extra precautions.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, it's the insurance companies, right? So a ton of precaution. It's funny because it's like 6 seconds, right? It was like 5 days, you know what I mean? But it's like you get 6 seconds. What was really, really cool is when I used to play for the Bills, Chris McDonald, who's an actor in a ton of stuff. I love his stuff. He was Shooter McGavin. And
he's great.
He's from upstate New York, so he would go to a lot of games. So him and I would hang out like way back in the day. And so when I sat next to him, I was like, "Hey, Chris." He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm Chris. I'm like, "Dude, Dorenbos, long snapper, Bills." He was like, "Oh my God!" It's kind of we got to hang out for a few days, and he's such a nice guy.
He seems like a great dude.
Well, your beard is more pronounced right now, so maybe that was part of it too.
Well, it's called children. The grays are coming in. Giving it a good shadow,
How many kids do you have now?
Yeah, one. I should have said child.
Oh, okay.
But a split personality. Yeah.
But my wife takes care of me too, so she has children.
Right. Yeah, she's got two.
Hey, John, when you're putting together your act or show, and I haven't seen, you've performed for us many times here in the studio, but I've never gone to your actual live show. What's it like? Because there's various types of magicians. There are people who put on a big, lots of pyrotechnics and effects, and there's people, the ones that I find more impressive are the ones who are mainly doing sleight of hand and really blowing you away with their storytelling and all the stuff that goes along with that. What's your style?
Well, perfect intro because lucky for you, I'm a storyteller, sleight of hand, and we do some big stuff. So I'm really proud of the show. It's my life story. And so it's the ups and downs that I've had through life, the magic that I found along the way that got me out of it. It's inspiring. It's motivating. Look, we do some mind-blowing magic, obviously, because that's what I love to do. But I promise you it's not like this gratuitous magic show where you just dance around and want to be David Copperfield. I love that. I just don't want to be that.
Right.
It's funny because the first... I grew up with like Blackstone the Magician and all these, and Houdini, obviously, and all this stuff. And there was that sort of presentation, the presentation where there was a narrative that would start to move in, where there was a story told through the magic, started to happen, I guess. Maybe was Doug Henning one of the first who kind of did like a connected narrative with the magic. Is that correct, John?
Yeah. And Lance Burton did an interview way back when, and it was basically like the hardest part about magic is to get people to care. If I do a dove routine, why do people care?
Right.
And my style has always just gone towards telling personal experience and life stories that obviously, so when you tell a personal story, people connect to it, people relate to it, and then people start thinking about things in their life that are similar, right? And so it's a way to trigger. And then all of a sudden you do magic and it breaks down this barrier, this wall, and people become vulnerable like kids. And so now what you say to me is 10 times more impactful. Look, I'm a big fan of your show. I'm a big fan of rock and roll. I wanted to be a rock star. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play an instrument. Check that off the old box. But cards and magic became my instrument, and now the ballad or the jam can be whatever it is you say around it.
That's awesome.
John, did you happen to see a special on Hulu called In and of Itself with a guy named Derek Delgaudio?
First of all, huge fan of Doug Audio. I'm like the only magician that has not seen this yet. I have no excuse. I've been wanting to see this. I heard it's phenomenal.
It's just really super unique, and that's what I think is really cool about taking what you do and putting a unique spin on it. And he's very much tells the story of his life as well during that show.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make a promise to the Preston and Steve show. I will be watching it tonight.
All right.
Nice.
But it's similar in your life story, which has so many. I mean, if you were to just get up and do a TED Talk about your life, that alone would be interesting. You have such rich fodder to draw upon for the magic. But as you start to develop a show and change it and alter it, and add illusions and tricks or whatever you like to refer to them as, where do you get the opportunity to go do that? Do you have a warehouse, or do you have, not that you're like David Copperfield making planes disappear or whatever, but do you have an actual...
WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. So I have so many different things to mention and talk about to you. It's almost like a stream of consciousness is swirling through my mind with rivulets of ideas.
Yes, Headley.
So I got a number of things that
we don't have our clip.
Chat about this. Casey's trying to. I sprung it on.
You whipped it on him last
My
night.
mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
And that is the stream of consciousness now.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with this. Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus has been reimagined and reborn without animals. So they have announced that they're hitting the road, and this time around it's going to be a high-octane family event with high-wire tricks, soaring trapeze artists, and bicycles leaping on trampolines.
So I saw a preview, and there is an incredible part in the presentation where a guy gets into an empty cage. And
wow.
I mean, he's taking his life into his hands.
It's coming to Philadelphia.
Yeah, so it's on the order of like a thrill show.
I find this personally more exciting than the animals anyway, because when we did go to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey, and it was neat to see elephants and some of the other animals. But the real action was when they were doing motorcycle stunts and trapeze and all that stuff.
The motorcycle in the ball.
Yeah, the cage.
Yeah, the cage.
The globe of death or whatever they call it. That is awesome.
The circle of unpleasantness.
Yes.
Yeah, the trapeze is definitely my favorite. But the performance is coming to the Wells Fargo Center February 16th to the 19th in 2024.
There was we went not that long ago. A friend of Caroline's does these silk.
Yes. Yeah. Those are very cool.
Yeah, things. So we went to a performance.
They're suspended from the ceiling, right?
Yeah, and we went to a performance. This place that's in, I want to say it might have been in Hatfield or somewhere in the general Harleysville vicinity. Not
a lot
too
of
far from
processed
us.
meats out there.
But listen, they had not only silks and all that stuff, but they had full on trapeze.
Really?
And, yeah, the whole deal.
So to me, that's
really impressive.
It's very Cirque du Soleil-ish, I guess. But those classic acts, even the Cannonball dude is cool. You know?
I love the human cannonball. I think that was the one. The last time I went to the circus, that's what I was waiting to see. And it's pretty damn impressive.
Is.
So, Feld Entertainment, which owns the greatest show on earth, revealed to the Associated Press that what the audience can expect during the North American tour kicking off this fall. The 75 performers from 18 countries will include performers on a triangular high wire, 25 feet off the ground, crisscrossing flying trapeze artists, a spinning double wheel powered by acrobats, and BMX trail bikes as well. Unicycle riders and skateboarders doing flips and tricks, too.
They're keeping one animal act, Preston. They have a monkey that carries a dog up to the top of the high wire and throws it off.
Nick pulled up an artist rendering of this, and the crisscrossing trapeze thing looks pretty crazy. I've never usually see them just,
I've never seen three
laterally,
legs, yes.
but they're going in different directions. That should be pretty interesting.
Is this, in fact, a tribute to the singer Christopher Cross?
Maybe it is. So the show is a complete rethink of a modern circus. Feld Entertainment has been working on everything from how to integrate clowns, the branding, and the merchandise over the past 4 years or so. I wonder, I don't think he's with them anymore, but we had him in the studio one time. Their main clown, who actually was also an acrobat as well, was this guy named Bello.
A lot of them are, yeah.
And he came by the studio one time, and he was cool. He was a nice guy, but he was very, very talented.
I'm a sucker for. Remember we had the contortionists in here, and they got into the plexiglass case.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care. I'm a sucker for all of that stuff. So I'd be very much into seeing this.
Kathy, do you have the ticket information, or Nick? Either one of you guys? What is that? And what time of year will they be? I assume they're going to be doing the Wells Fargo set.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the center ring, Kathy has ticket information.
Yeah, I said it's in February of 2024.
Okay, sorry. So that's cool.
Is Feld Entertainment David Feldman? I think it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not Damon, but his brother David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's see if that's the case.
Yeah.
Based out of Florida case?
Well, there is a Feld Entertainment that's based out of Philadelphia.
I think this might be a different one.
Okay.
I'm kind of hoping it is.
Yeah,
Preston, Wells Fargo Center, February 16th to the 19th.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So
you've seen Cirque du Soleil, have you?
No, never have seen Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I've
Kathy,
seen it on TV. But
again, it's one of those cases, Preston, where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be into that. And I did see the Beatles show, in Vegas. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are literally, Kathy, they are going up very high. They're spinning around. They're doing all this stuff that can be lethal, and they're doing it in the most poetic way. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen it a number of times in a couple of different shows.
Right.
All of them are great, but the most amazing one was, and I think it was called it was the one that involved water in Vegas. It was great.
So Feld Entertainment, Casey, is based out of Florida. No connection to, I don't think, Damon or David.
Okay.
And they also run Monster Jam, Monster Energy, Supercross, Sesame Street Live, Disney on Ice. So a lot of those types of
They're big.
entertainment.
All right.
So they're a division of Lauer Entertainment.
Lauer Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the show, there'll be like 20 poodles in ballerina costumes.
This has been a Lauer presentation. And then you hear that cough sound again. Yeah. Instead of the lion roar.
And now, the lesbian daisy chain.
Everybody leaves.
25 feet high, they do a daisy chain in the air.
I direct your attention to the big top.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop my jam and see if I can catch it in my mouth.
Wow. All right, so coming February next year. But
Very nice.
They debuted. It's been reborn now, which is cool. All right, how about this? This is terrifying for those who have been watching The Last of Us.
Yes.
A drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus has been spreading rapidly through the United States. Healthcare facilities, a new government study says. It's been going through the U.S. healthcare facilities. So the fungus, a type of yeast called Candida auris, or C. auris, can cause severe illness in people with weakened immune systems. The number of people diagnosed with infections, as well as the number of those who were found through screening to be carrying C. auris, has been rising at an alarming rate since it was first reported in the U.S., researchers from the Centers for Disease Control said. The CDC's new warning comes as the Mississippi Department of Health is fighting a growing outbreak of the fungus.
If HBO created this fungus as part of a promotional effort, I'm going to be furious.
It's brilliant. Since November, at least 12 people have been infected with CRS, with 4 potentially associated deaths, the state's epidemiologist said in an email.
I use CRS to get boners. Not Cialis.
There have been ongoing transmission at 2 long-term care facilities, although cases have been identified at several other facilities in the state.
So in this case, the people are getting sick. We're not at the point where we have that sort of zombie-like control.
Not yet.
Yeah. But hey, look, maybe Showtime has a show they're working on.
There's time. We'll see, because in the show, it's the fungus itself takes over the body. And controls it. And so we'll
Can't
see.
wait for the second season. Maybe we'll be characters in the second season, Preston.
We'll see if that ends up happening. The fungus, by the way, can be found on the skin and throughout the body, according to the CDC. It is not a threat to healthy people, but about 1/3 of people who become sick with CRS do end up dying. So if you are healthy, it shouldn't affect you. But if you have some weakened immune system issues or something like that, and you do get sick, 1/3 of those people that do get sick end up dying from this thing. So
Does
we
this
got to get a handle on it.
Share any similarities with Famunda cheese?
Probably exactly the same thing.
I would have to imagine.
For all I know. Is that a fungus?
Yeah, well, possibly.
It acts like it.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm keeping a cautious eye on all this stuff because, man, that would be, as depicted at least in this series, obviously the game, The Last of Us. It's not a fun future.
Fungus is wholly different than mold, is it not?
I think mold is a fungus.
Or is mold a fungus? Okay, I'm not really
They can
sure.
both get into the same clubs.
Because I know mold freaks Kathy out for sure.
Oh, yeah. Mold is a fungal growth that forms and spreads on various kinds of damp or decaying organic matter.
Okay.
Mold.
So it has ties to fungi.
But you know why I'm so terrified by mold is because I have an allergy to it. So when I did that, I did a lot of allergy testing, and that was something that came back up on my skin like 5 days from the time that they had put it on into my body. 5 days after, I was still showing a reaction to it.
It can cause severe respiratory problems.
So I stayed in a house one time that had mold.
Mold manor.
And I could smell it the second I walked in. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. I was sick, and when I say sick, like a cold, cough, sniffling, for about 4 months afterwards. It just stuck around and it didn't go away. And people can, there was a family who mold grew in their house. We did a charity event for them. This was years ago, but they had an infant and other kids, and like they could not figure out why the kids were so sick.
I remember this.
That ended up being the reason.
Mold.
Yeah, if it gets its claws in and you are allergic to it, you can get really, really sick from that. Most definitely. So, all right, well, watch out for this fungus.
That's scary.
All right, let me see. What else are we going to find here?
So many things when you're in that stream of consciousness or mode.
Yes.
You become basically a receptacle for every bit of knowledge in the universe.
Yes.
Mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
So I saw this story. This is interesting. Female pilots at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina are testing.
Seymour Johnson?
Come
Oh,
on.
man.
Come on.
Sometimes I feel like these things aren't real and somebody's just getting
Nick,
one over on us.
will you please look that up and see if it's real? Seymour spelled Seymour, Johnson Air Force Base.
It replaces the Chomp My Ballsack Air Force Base.
Yeah, it's a real one.
It's in North Carolina.
Seymour Johnson.
And they're testing a new bladder relief system called Eris by Aryan Health. And
I don't like a lot of
and Aryan is not like Aryan Nation. It's spelled, or it might be Air Ion, Airion, Arion, but it looks like Arion
I
to
think
me.
you're probably right.
Yes, it's called
What's to do when you're flying a plane and you have to piss?
Yeah, that's what this is all about, too. So the system uses and this is for women. So the system uses a cup liner that is worn under the pilot's underwear.
A cup?
Yes.
Yeah, a cup.
And a pumping system that pulls liquid away from the flight suit without requiring pilots to remove their harness.
Like a levee?
The system was awarded a prototype contract by the Air Force last year and aims to make it easier for female aviators to urinate during long flights.
All right, so I'm going to ask a question because I saw a commercial about a device. I saw it popped up probably 250,000 times while I was watching the show. and is for people. Obviously, the level of incontinence, or we talked about the depends and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's people get embarrassed. You don't need to be. It's quite a common issue. However, there was a device that is made specifically for women when they sleep. And I was trying to figure out how it works. It's like a thing that sits next to you on the nightstand, and it goes to this long attachment that almost looks like a smaller version of what you might serve a banana sundae in.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that is perhaps inserted into.
No.
Do you know how that would be employed?
No, because if they're to take the urine out, it would have to.
Well,
it'd be a catheter, essentially.
It would be a catheter.
Right, but this has none of the telltale signs of I've had a catheter.
Yeah.
And this does not even remotely look like a catheter.
Okay.
It
I
looks
think a women's catheter looks different than a men's catheter.
looks like a Louisville Slugger.
Yeah, a lot like that.
Okay.
Why is this being created just for women, though?
That's what I couldn't figure out, because
can a man take
It's
his
like
flight
Irish
suit off?
Spring. Men can use it too.
No, but can men
pee
take?
too?
I know, and I'm wondering, does their flight suit come off easily, and that's why?
No,
they
it's the same flight suit.
It is?
Yeah, it's a jumpsuit. I mean, it's like
the flight suits are the same, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. I don't know if they already have a type of device for men. I would think a catheter would be it
Or
would suck.
a
but-
Gatorade bottle.
Or, yeah, exactly.
Here's for the men. Here's for the women.
You need that.
yeah. Or this apparatus is made specifically for the female genitalia, and it wouldn't fit on a man's.
That's why the thing that I was talking about, Casey, I was trying to figure out how it's implemented because it doesn't look, excuse me, anything like a catheter.
But also, women generally, I could be speaking out of turn here, especially women who have had children, have a tendency more so to pee themselves a little
piddle?
bit.
Yes.
Yeah, to piddle, with sneezes, laughs, coughs, anything like that, they can.
Jumping.
When I had the prostate surgery, for a little while afterwards, I had the prostate removed, and you get used to controlling that with your other available organs. So yes, there was a little bit of leakage, and that went away.
Case, I work out with a bunch of women, and some of the women, when we do jumping jacks, they look at the trainer and they're like, "We're not doing it."
My sister used to be one who would laugh hard, really, really hard, would pee. And it was kind of, in fact, that used to be a regular joke. I mean, like, when you laugh so hard, I'd pee.
It's quite common.
That happened to
I
me
go the
one
other way,
time.
though. When I pee, I start laughing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
weird at a urinal.
So funny. I have someone who works at a hospital. It is Erica who wants to comment on this. Erica, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Erica?
Hi. So I actually work at Christiana Hospital in Delaware.
Okay.
And what you guys are talking about is it is a female catheter device, but it looks like a boat. I always call it the cooter boat.
The cooter boat.
It actually stays on the outside of the female, and that long tubing connects to the end of it.
Okay.
And it just sucks up the urine when they pee. It's called a pure wick.
It does. I'm sorry. It does what to the urine?
So when they pee, a lot of women, like older women, will use it at the hospital. When they pee, the PureWick is attached to a tubing system with like a suction.
A suction.
And it will just
Okay.
suck up the pee through the tube, and it brings it into a canister.
So that's what I saw.
But this is worn externally? There's no insertion of this?
No insertion. No
Okay.
insertion. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's pretty, it's a good size. But it's actually like a blue rubber, and then on the inside of the blue rubber is like almost like a giant tampon, and that's where it sucks up the moisture.
Okay.
That's the little boat.
The boat.
thing,
That's the
Steve.
boat thing I'm talking about then. So that's, yes. Okay. Then now that makes sense. So it's an external device, and so it sort of rests in the cooter boat, as you call it, and that takes care of the urine if, say, if a woman is sleeping and doesn't want to have an accident, right?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, there's women that wear it during the day, too, if they're incontinent. A lot of, like, women who can't go to the bathroom on their own, they'll wear it. And it is a great device. It doesn't work as well as the men's devices just because those are, they go right in.
Yeah. Ow.
But it does the job. It does the job.
All right. Excellent. Thanks for the explanation, Erica.
There we go. That was
appreciate it.
very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
You too. All right, so I have an Air Force pilot and an Air Force mechanic with some explanations. So let's go to Kevin, who is a pilot, first of all. Kevin, good morning.
Hey, guys. What's happening? Y'all rock.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, Kev, you're a pilot. Are you still actively in the Air Force?
Yeah, I was active duty Air Force for about 13 years, and I'm in the reserve now, so still in the Air Force.
All right, what kind of equipment are you on?
Right now, I fly tankers, but I flew a bunch of stuff in my career. But how Kathy was asking, like, hey, do the guys pee? Well, of course we do. And what we call it is called a piddle pack.
Okay.
Piddle pack. It's not. It's it's like the cooter boat.
No, it's not like the cooter boat, but it looks like a plastic bag, really. And all you do is, you take out your business, and when you got to go, you just pee in it. And then it coagulates your urine into like a jelly.
All right, so this makes sense. This is kind of what is in like a Depends, right? It's the same sort of like a gelatinous substance.
Exactly, yeah. It pretty much turns it into this nice jelly, and then you just take that bag. It has like a super like Ziploc thing at the top, and then you just kind of tuck that away in the cockpit. And this stuff is mostly for fighter type aircraft, bigger planes, you get up, you go to the bathroom just like you do when you're on a commercial airliner.
So I assume you're on your own if you're dealing with taking a dump, correct?
Yeah. So there's a proverbial honey bucket in the bigger aircraft, or if you don't have a normal toilet, and then there are all the way up to certain levels of Depends type things that guys wear, but.
Wow, man, you never think about these things, Kevin, because you remember a while ago we were talking about guys who work in those high-rise cranes and what they have to do. It's probably pretty similar.
Yeah, you're isolated. You don't have a lot of room to move around, and most guys do everything they can to not have to do that. I'm sure the gals do too.
Yeah.
But this type of thing's been around for a while. If Nick, if you want to Google Shiwi. Yeah, they have them. Have them for. I mean, you can use them on a road trip. You can use them just flying around.
Oh yeah,
I want to get that.
The Shiwi. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, interesting. All right, Kevin. Thanks for the heads up, man. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. You have a good day. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see you later.
We should see if we could get us up in a tanker vessel.
By the way, he said that it's funny that he said honey bucket because when my sons worked at this campground down at the shore. When they would have to go empty the septic tanks of all the vehicles, it would go into this one big container that was on a tractor, and they called it the honey wagon.
Well, why honey just to
I don't
distract?
know. I guess honey
is a practical joke for bears?
Who knows? But I mean, that's what he called the honey bucket if you got to poop in that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a honey is a regular term for poop.
Yeah, my dad has used that. The honey bucket, the honey wagon. Yeah. You guys want to know a little bit about the unfortunately named Seymour Johnson? It turns out he was an American hero, and he died. He was a fighter pilot and then became a test pilot. And he was one of the first men to make it up to 43,000 feet.
Wow.
He was getting low on oxygen. He was in a Grumman F-4, F-3 fighter plane, and it crashed near Norbeck, Maryland. And they named this Air Force Base after him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He might have predated the use of Johnson as a term for...
Maybe.
Yeah.
But he was a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy, and
wow.
He had more than 4,000 hours in a variety of naval and Grumman aircraft. And then so that's why they named the Air Force Base after the guy.
I'm just in awe of people who are fighter pilots
God.
and the gentleman we were just talking to.
No
It's
fear.
Such an amazing thing.
Or if they have fear, they're just able to control it better than anyone else.
I can't even jump out of a car anymore. When I'm moving. That's what a pussy I am.
Preston, the Shiwi is sort of so a woman can create like how a man would go to the bathroom.
Right.
Oh, so you stand
it
up?
cups and then that you stay standing.
Right. Yep. I remember that. All right. Let's see. We're gonna go to some other places. We'll leave the butt behind for a moment. And somebody sent me this. This was really interesting. AI.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh, not Allen Iverson.
Not Allen Iverson. No. So the same tech behind the hugely popular Chat GPT is now being integrated into a system that automates radio DJing.
Yeah.
Pierre's going to have a heart attack when he hears this. But before it's deployed, its makers and users need to ensure that AI doesn't spread misinformation on the air. So in June of 2020, more than 2 years before it unveiled ChatGPT, AI research firm OpenAI started providing limited access to GPT-3, the language model that would later form the basis of its AI chatbot. So like ChatGPT, GPT-3 can produce human-like text in response to prompts, and researchers quickly began using the tech to develop apps that summarized customer surveys, wrote dialogue for video games, and more. Now, Futuri, a company that designs tech to help grow media brands, has now unveiled Radio GPT, a system that uses GPT-3 and other tech to create and market tailored content for radio stations.
Kapow, pow, pow, kaboom, bop. Ha!
Hey, everybody. It's good to have you on the...
Yeah, so they're talking about this with this, Preston. They're talking about this with for script writing, and they had a critic review some scripts that were written by AI by this program, saying they were serviceable, but you know, and they did it as like a double blind. He didn't know which ones had been written by people and which ones were written by this artificial intelligence.
I feel like we could have some fun with this on the air. I feel like because we've messed around with it at home, and I do think that there's an application live on our show.
So this doesn't only just write the scripts.
Right.
This performs
This is
them.
the DJ. Yeah.
So the script can be read by the stations. And so the GPT-3 technology creates a script for on-air use. It says here that it scans Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and 250,000 plus other sources of news and information to identify which topics are trending in a local market. So
Yes.
like us, this thing gets to decide what it's going to talk about. The script can then be read by the station's own DJs, AI voices trained to sound like those DJs, or completely AI-generated voices. And customers have the option of creating radio shows with up to 3 fully virtual DJs.
There's so much in here that's right out of Black Mirror, and this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially with that stuff, especially with creating very convincing footage and audio of someone in a position of power saying something that's not true or mobilizing people to do something in a fit of panic.
Agreed.
I don't like it.
That's
why we talk about poop all the time. It makes it easier.
We've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
These things are bad ideas.
They're bad ideas.
I mean,
stop it.
It's amazing technological advancement.
Yes.
But, it's like the old Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
Did you?
Doesn't mean you should.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I prefer our morning DJs alive. They say wacky things and often say poop.
Radio GPT's AI DJs can chat about weather and traffic or look at a station's playlist and tease upcoming songs. The system can also write blogs, social okay, well, maybe we can deal with that.
It'll
blogs,
take care of your
social
content.
posts.
Yeah.
And more about the content being shared on air, and then automatically publish it to a station's website or social accounts. Okay, now I'm seeing the practical side of it.
The future is digital.
By the way, Marissa said South Park did an episode written completely by ChatGPT. And did they animate it and everything, Marissa? Did you watch it? Hang on a second here. Let me turn her microphone on.
I haven't watched it yet. It's the latest episode. I don't know if the entire thing was Chat GPT, but at least parts of it are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that they've embraced and are trying it out. Of course they would.
It's fun.
I see a very big downside to this.
Marissa did it. I told her to try something out with that. Or you've done a couple of things, right?
Yeah. The only thing is it only has information up until like 2020 or 2022. So it's not the most up-to-date information on ChatGPT, but they are offering...
So it has no idea what's going on in the world of the Vanderpumps.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's not going to give you that awesome Friends analogy that Kathy gave us early this morning. No, but it's the future, guys. It's here.
By the way,
It's
somebody
coming.
texted and said, machines don't snort.
Yes. That's right, man.
Leave that up to us. All right. Anyhow, I thought that was kind of interesting. Wow. All right.
And scary.
Okay.
All right.
I think, there's a couple different things I could go to. And I'm trying
Remember, you're the stream of consciousness now. Whatever you want.
Letting it flow.
Like the cooter boat.
How about this one? The town in Canada named Regina decided on a cheeky tourism campaign that has left some residents enraged. Regina, which is pronounced in the way that rhymes with a certain private part, is located about 100 miles north of the U.S. border. And the new tourism campaign included the slogan, "Show us your Regina." Residents said that this take on the town name was gross, misogynist, and steeped in masculine toxicity.
Listen, it is, you can't ignore it, unless you change the name of the town. It sounds like vagina.
You know who's from there? Is our buddy Scotty Hartnell.
What?
Yeah, grew up in Regina.
I didn't know that. I wonder what he thinks about it.
You want me to text him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see if he knows about it.
When you leave there, you have to go through the fallopian tube.
There is a dildo Canada, too.
Yeah.
In Newfoundland.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's their subway system,
Yeah,
the fallopian
it's the fallopian tube.
So the CEO of Experience Regina, Tim Reed, said that it was clear that we fell short of what is expected from our amazing community with some slogans that we used. We crossed the line on some of the poking fun at ourselves around our city name.
I think it's playful. I saw some of what they were doing. It wasn't gross. It was just playful.
No, yeah. Like if there was something that rhymed with penis,
yeah,
I would think that'd be hilarious too. And I wouldn't call that misogyny. I'd call that funny.
They are just up the road from Butthole, and they have fun with that name as well.
Yeah. You have to cross over Taint to get to.
Right. You come out of the fallopian tube, you cross Taint, and then you're in Butthole.
And then you're in Butthole. Where are you from? Butthole, Canada.
Oh, it'd be like not having fun with that. Listen, if you go out to Intercourse here in PA, they have stuff that it plays with it. It's not disgusting. It's just fun. And I'm sure you see people buying those, signs and all that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Obviously there's Blue Ball, Bird in Hand.
Nut Bust.
Nut Buster.
Nut Bust is a quaint little
Nut
town.
Bust, PA.
It's a great little town.
What a great little town. It's a bustin' little town.
Nut Bust Pride.
Well, Regina got some blowback from this, and
I was seen in a 40-year-old. In a 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Right. Regina's her name. Was down at the speed dating.
Actually, it was Regina. Yeah. That's so funny. All right. Well, anyhow, they've decided that they're gonna pass on that slogan. Another one. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I mean, this is our open and close. So, and our guest just arrived.
You want me to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up with the Regina.
Well, what would you have gone with quickly? Just give us a tease for the next stream of consciousness.
There was a story that was, and this is more of a topic. It was the most annoying advice that new parents receive.
All right. Do you want to say that for a topic?
I think we can chat about that rather than me just tell you about
Once
it.
we exalted the town of Buttnust.
Yeah.
Not Bust. Bust Nut.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, this has been the stream of consciousness, Nora.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
All right, and with that, we will take a break, and we're still gonna give you some time before we give away that trip to Universal Orlando Resorts.
You're being tricky.
It will be soon. It will be soon. So make sure you're listening for my cue to have you call in and let us know the answer to that question that we asked earlier this morning. But when we get back, Danny Cage, the owner of Monster Factory, is going to be here in our studio.
Yes.
Apple TV Plus has a documentary series about it that is called Monster Factory, of course. So we'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Has your busted bracket
I have a
turned this
lab.
month?
It's my house at Oak Brook Circle.
That's it.
That little garage over there on the side that we don't quite use, that we don't know what to do with the lawnmower, so we shove it in there.
And it's that simple. You just go in and a room in your house and.
Yeah, you know what? I got a great creative team, and so Blake Voigt, Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is the guy behind David Blaine, all his TV stuff for years and years.
Well,
we're really good friends. Yeah, we're good friends. But what these people are really good at is when us three get in a room and we jam, it's like songwriting, right? Some people just gel, and it's important to know one another's style, and so they kind of get my style. And we just create stuff, which is fun.
You know, it's funny because so many musicians and magicians, and the words sound very similar, by the way. But you'll take a chord progression and turn it a little bit and make it something new. And I get that impression as being the same with magicians. Okay, there's this old style trick. We're going to turn it, do this, put this narrative behind it, and make it something new. Is that a large part of what you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's like music. There's like 5 chords. Am I right?
Yeah.
I should know that. Six chords. Well, magic, there's 5 things you can do, and I should probably know these 5. You can disappear, you can reappear, you can change, and there's like 2 other things you can do.
Right.
So it's taking a spin on that.
You're getting a little too intricate for us.
Well, let me ask you. I was expecting manipulation. Some of these other
you change, you disappear, you come back, and then there's 3 other things.
So, all right. So there have been some in the magic world. There have been some constants, obviously, but there has been new variables over the years in technology and stuff, and over the last year with being able to do things via Zoom and virtually, has that presented itself any new opportunities for you?
Yeah, so in the Zoom world, which is here we are. I did a lot of like keynotes. Believe it or not, the virtual keynote speaking market was out of this world, right? And so I'd be able to do tricks through Zoom, which is kind of cool. I created a few things. Now it's a completely different medium. It's a completely different way of doing things. Right now you're isolated in this little frame here, so it was a fun, challenging time.
Do you get called? I mean, obviously, I know when I was doing stand-up comedy, I used to do corporate gigs fairly often. Is that still out there? Substantially with so many people working from home and all that change because of what we just went through. Is that still a rich area for you as a magician to work in?
The Zoom market?
The corporate, corporate events and things of that nature. Yeah. Is that a big money maker for you without getting? Yeah, but I don't need a dollar amount.
Yeah, baby, throw me the money. But not so much as a magician. Like I said, I get hired out as a speaker, and I get to do whatever magic I want within that.
I got
One of the best advice I ever got was my rookie year, and this guy Kevin Elko, he's a speaker, and I was in the weight room. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you a couple $100 to go talk to these bankers." I was like, "I'm in." He goes, "You know that stupid little pencil trick you do?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "They'll eat it up. Tell your story how you went to college." So I was like, "Okay." And then afterwards, he literally pulled me aside and he goes, "Listen, kid." I was 23. He goes, "Listen, kid, I'm going to give you some advice. Look, the magic's cute. I get it. You need to be a speaker, and you'll thank me for it." And so I've been a speaker ever since. And obviously, the cap that companies are willing to spend on a magician is quite a bit smaller than a speaker.
Right.
And so
true.
Hey, you can call me whatever you want.
Just a reminder, John's going to be at Borgata Music Box on Friday, 2 shows. By the way, John, so what role does football play in your life now? Just a observer or anything else?
I have some friends call me here and there, and they'll have because a lot of the guys I played with now are coaching either high school, college, or whatever, and they'll have a snapper or a specialist. And they'll say, "Hey, man, can you work with this kid? Can you give me some advice?" And we can do it over Zoom. We can do it live. And so I'm just kind of like the guy that just kind of goes in, helps out. Believe it or not, there's been some coaches that have left the Eagles and gone on to other teams, and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to bring you in here and just kind of help build the culture of an organization," which for me, I think that was a bigger compliment than help me with X's and O's. I think that was kind of a role I had with the Eagles for a long, long time, and that was, establish a culture, get a sense of community and family within a locker room, care about one another, and then you don't have to be the greatest of athletes to win.
I have a very objective question to ask you, John. Which fans are crazier, Bills fans or Eagles fans? Because Bills fans over the last few years have really upped their game in the level of craziness that they bring. The Bills Mafia, as I think now, kind of rivals the insanity that Eagles fans bring every week.
I'll say this. I mean, anybody that's out there in minus 20-degree weather with no shirt on, run around in the parking lot, I mean, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different level of crazy. For those that have never been to Buffalo, wow. It was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me to get picked up by the Bills. And then it was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me to get released by the Bills. Because that place was hard. I mean, it was like, now look, you're talking about a kid who came from Southern California. So like I had seen snow, but I had never seen snow.
Yeah, that is snow.
And, and now keep in mind, I kind of hacked my way into college, right? I sent somebody else's film. So when I got into the NFL, I was still trying to figure out how to snap. And so to go to Buffalo and try and play in that weather and be a specialist. Look, I played with Drew Bledsoe. That guy had one of the strongest arms I've ever seen. I remember there was games that he couldn't even throw a 10-yard out because the wind was so bad.
Yeah.
And then the coach was ticked off at me that I couldn't snap. Drew can't throw it 10 yards. You want me to look between my legs?
Yeah.
Right.
John, I went to the Eagles-Bills game, oh, God, it had to have been 2 years ago, and the wind was crazy. We couldn't even kick extra points at this point. The wind was so bad, they kept going for 2-point conversions.
God, that's savage.
But I will say, I thought the fans were great. I didn't get there early enough to really hang out in the tailgate area or whatever. But I bought tickets that were close enough in the end zone, so I just wanted to get on either A, get on TV, which I did, or B, catch a football either via kickoff or whatever. And a football landed 2 seats away from me, so I know I was so close. But I had a great time and. They had great hot dogs in the stadium.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, think about this. Philadelphia has restaurants Zama loves sushi. Come on, Redstone. Hello, still here, guys.
Kathy.
Oh yes.
I mean, and Buffalo has
wings.
Hey, let me ask you. Do you have Wetzel's Pretzels there by any chance?
Oh, I don't know.
Casey's a big fan.
Good wings.
Yeah.
But Buffalo was great, man. But like I said, what a hard place to play, man. Hard place.
Wow. Nice. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. How about that, man?
Yeah, you got your own backstage and all that, everything. What is your rider like? Is there anything super unique in a John Dorenbos rider when you show up at the Borgata?
Michelob. So this is funny.
Yeah.
So I was never. I didn't really drink alcohol a whole lot, I never drank beer. I didn't like beer, right? I didn't like beer. So my wife's like, "Oh, this is cool. So when you stop working out and stop playing football, now you're going to drink beer."
Right.
Okay. Good timing. So I got nothing crazy. I just got my Michelob Gold Ultras carb conscious beer.
Carb conscious beer.
Crazy.
That's it.
And do you have? All right. So do you have an exclusive partnership with a playing card? Do you know what I mean?
So I use bicycles now. This is crazy. That the president of United States Playing Card Company, huge fan, very nice guy. But this company, zero advertising, zero endorsements for anybody. They just don't need it. They don't
They're
do
just
it.
the best.
And
They're
so
like the Louisville Sluggers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good point.
And is that the choice for most magicians? Bicycle?
For me, yeah. Apparently, I like the air cushion finish. Apparently, just gets it done for me. Air cushion finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I keep these guys everywhere. But bicycle is the most consistent. And now you're gonna get me going. But to be able just to kind of do things like that looked really good on Zoom right there. But they just feel good. They just look good, right? And so they fan nice. Like, come on, are you kidding me? Watch this. Hey, for those at home, I'm just
that's impressive.
That's an impressive fan. Hey, John, can you do the one where you where you're just holding the deck in your hand flat and you just flip that top card up in the air and over? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, and he's coughing him up. I'm blown away by that stuff. It's just.
This comes out of the center. Oh,
man!
You know what I mean?
Wow!
Man, and he catches it. Here's something here. Little zoom something for you. It's gonna be hard. Preston, you're the guy in the camera here, so I'm just gonna use you. Just say stop.
And stop right there. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna out jog that.
Okay.
It's kind of hard here on Zoom, but here we go. Can you see that or no?
Yep, I got it.
What do you see?
I see the 10 of diamonds.
Ooh. Perfect. Do you have a cell phone, a wallet, pad of paper?
I got a cell phone.
He's got a cell phone and whatever you need.
I have a pad of paper and a wallet.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Do you have all three?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, get them. Okay.
We're a major market show.
Okay, so put your wallet on your hand first.
Okay. Dear God.
Okay. Here it comes.
Yeah.
And then your phone on top of that.
Okay.
Pad of paper on top of that.
Yeah.
And then your hand on top of that.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be sick. One more time. What do you see?
10 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hopefully this will work. I don't know, but watch. If we take the 10 through Zoom,
it's gone.
Okay. Wow.
We can get it to vanish.
Okay.
Preston, lift your hand up.
Dude, no. Okay.
Lift the paper up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing under the paper. Yep.
Yeah. Put it down. Lift the phone up.
Okay.
Yeah. And now put that down.
Okay.
And now just lift your wallet straight up.
Okay.
Is there something on your hand? You would have flipped out if it was. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
You know what? It might have not gone through. Can you pick your wallet up again?
Yeah.
Can you open it?
Yes.
Is there something inside? Go ahead and look through there. Is there something in the?
Are you serious?
Shut up.
No.
Dude. Stop it.
There's a 10 of diamonds in Preston's
I mean,
wallet.
that's as good as I can get through Zoom. Right there.
Which one of you a-holes took my wallet and put this in here? That's insane.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
The 10 of diamonds.
You're the devil.
Yeah, and go Borgata Friday night. I will be there.
Yes, and honestly,
That
room
just
is
happened.
That room is perfect for magic. By the way, it's going to be awesome.
Why couldn't you do that with like $100 bill?
I thought it was gonna if I had a $10 bill or something like in that he would.
That's awesome.
Screw you, man. I mean that lovingly. That's insane, dude. You're crazy. All right, John, we love you, pal. It's good to talk to you, and have a great time in AC.
Yeah, and if you guys want to give away tickets, give them away. Let me know.
All right, that'd be awesome.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you so much,
Love it.
John freaking Dorenbos.
Now you're trying to figure out what the hell happened. I had nothing to do with that.
That's freaking me out, man.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was just going to make it. I thought he was just going to say that it was a joke, which it was, and and it was funny.
And then it's in your wallet.
This was in my wallet. I didn't do that.
Sure you didn't.
One of you guys did it.
No.
One of you guys did it.
No.
One of you guys did it.
No.
I'll find out later.
That's magic, man. Wow. Don't if you upgrade to the premium package on Zoom, it comes with magic.
Is that what it comes with? If you look back to when test tube babies was a very controversial idea, and there was all kinds of uproar against that type of thing, and now fertility stuff is commonplace. I mean, it's exactly what
you can get
do.
powdered mix.
To make babies.
Okay, can they extract semen out of a fully vasectomized nutsack? Can they do that?
Did you just whisper nutsack?
The question in front of the panel today is: can semen be fully extracted?
93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kath. So our next guest is the owner and coach of the Monster Factory, which we've definitely heard of before.
Many times.
And there is a documentary series that just premiered on Apple TV Plus, and it is called Monster Factory. Welcome to our studio, Mr. Danny Cage.
Thank you, guys.
How you doing, Danny?
I'm doing great, man.
Excellent.
It's surreal to me. I'm seeing the screen and you guys and everything. Like I'm in show business, but this is something new to me because it hasn't been working out for me for years, and all this coming together right now is just it's surreal as can be.
I want to ask you because listen, we were aware of the Monster Factory for many years. We've had a number of the wrestlers of WWE and all the other organizations come through, and they always mention it. They mention this area for this rich history. So this has been going on for a long time. But did Apple TV approach you with the concept for this? Did you go to them?
Yeah,
Because
this is a wild story. Back in 2016 is when this started.
So this has been going on that long?
Yeah. Before there was an Apple TV Plus, this was going on. A production company reached out to me, and they just wanted to make kind of like a sizzle reel to get the word out of what they could do production-wise. And it turned into, it was supposed to be 2 minutes to 16 and a half minutes. And then it became a hit on Vimeo. And then all these people were like, that's a cool story there. Let's try to pick this up. And then it was to Netflix, and it was to all these different places. And Jeremiah Zagar, who just got done doing Hustle, was in this company. And he's like, let me go meet this guy and see this up close. He came out to meet us, and he's like, so do you want a show? And I'm like, I would love one. And
that's a question.
Yeah. But, I didn't know who he was. So he goes to the bathroom, and they're like, you don't even know who that is, do you? And I'm like, I have no clue. And they're like, just Google him. And I was like, oh, he's kind of a big deal. And they're like, yeah, so if he wants a show, I think you're going to get a show. But this was 2018.
Yeah.
And then we kept going and trying to shop it and putting together reels. And it was hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait.
That's the song and dance.
Yep.
That's what happens. It happens time and time again. But and then when did you finally get the call to come in? Because it's 6 episodes?
Yes, 6 half-hour episodes. We filmed it last year from about, I think we started in March, and it went all the way up until about August we taped.
Wow.
And it was so unbelievable I could trust these people because I took number one when we started filming. I said, if you make anybody look horrible and bad, I was like, legally I probably can't do anything, but physically we might have issues. And I was like, and I got about 40 other students that can help this happen. So it was, but like to have it turn out, because like we're so used to wrestling stories of being so, dark and seedy and telling all the stories of bad things, and then like this happens, and it's everything I could want in a wrestling show.
Well, I want to address what you said at the beginning here, but first a couple of questions. For how many episodes?
6 half-hour episodes.
One season and done, or maybe talks of another?
I hope so.
Okay. And you said things haven't been going well. What did you mean by that?
Well, as soon as the pandemic hit, I mean, I own a gym.
Right.
And the way I would get money is birthday parties, shows, and tuition.
Yeah, and everything shut down. Yeah.
And I told our students, I was like, all right, well, I'm used to not paying bills. But you guys, I don't want you to bother with tuition because I don't know how long this is going to last. We'll figure out a way to get through this together. So I wasn't paying my mortgage because I had to pay the rent to the building.
And you addressed this in the show.
Yeah.
You guys talk about how that's you weren't taking care of your own stuff.
And it's me, my wife. I got a 15-year-old and now 14-year-old.
Right.
We're going now over a year and a half without paying mortgage. It's like now over $30,000 I'm owning, and they're talking about pulling my house and all this. And I was like, then we'll just live at the Monster Factory. We'll figure this out. But the future hinges on this. This is the risk you have to take.
It's about, what I love about this whole thing, and you mentioned like the darker side, and we're huge fans of the movie The Wrestler, and just in general, we've had a fantastic relationship with the wrestlers in WWE, and I said all the other organizations that come through here, natural-born entertainers and show people. But you make the case to your students, and now you said 40 students, that, you always stress it's not impossible that you'll make it.
No,
Follow your dream, but realize the odds are strong against you.
Yes.
So and you're never not candid about that. So in your own life, you were trying to become a wrestler.
Yes.
And give us a little bit of your back history.
So like I wanted to do this so bad, like my entire life. From like what's so great now is like getting all the messages from friends and family from years and years ago who'd known for like 30 years I've wanted to do this.
Right.
And, I got in the best shape of my life. I only started amateur wrestling because I wanted to be a pro wrestler. So I would wrestle all year round, do tournaments. So when I got the tryout, you guys will see it didn't work out so well. I don't want to spoil it. But here's the good thing. After watching this show, the person that wouldn't pay for my tryout texted me, and he loved the show and couldn't get enough of it. But it was that going for your dream and then it being snatched out from underneath you, and then realizing like, hey, if I keep going, then I really do want this dream. And this was something that wasn't going to shut me down. Like I always tell everybody, the path can stop. It doesn't mean your destination changes.
No, and you make that clear. And because I saw the first 2 episodes and really enjoyed it. But you had that kind of thing we talk about with pro athletes, in any sport, and the wear and tear on the body. And you had a come to Jesus moment. Explain this.
Oh, yeah. So this is how long ago it was. I was playing Sega Genesis in a lawn chair. I was playing PGA Tour golf before Avery became Tiger Woods.
Right, I remember.
Yep. So I'm playing it, and I'm sitting down in the lawn chair because, like I even say, it's a bachelor pad. I have basically a TV and a lawn chair.
And you've been wrestling a lot.
Yeah, I was wrestling for a couple of years now, and I just got done a show, and we were having a couple beers, and we were going to go back out, and I went to stand up, and I couldn't, and my legs just wouldn't work. And it was sciatica down my left side, and I literally had my friends each side grab me by my armpits, drag me to my room, and I just laid on my bed with a heating pad on my back, and I just knew then I was done. And plus, at the time, I'm working for the phone company. So now I have to go climb telephone poles. I have to go through crawl spaces, basements, all this stuff. And I'm like this. So that was then when I was just like, I think this is done. I can't risk the 6-figure job, and my body's already shot. And plus, no offense to the Monster Factory back then, it wasn't what it is now. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. It was basically a brick building and a ring, and that was it.
There was a gentleman who owned it before you.
Yes.
He was...
Pretty Boy Larry Sharp.
Right, and it had a reputation.
Yes.
But then you got it in...
2011.
Okay, and then... The facility, as we see it, because we've heard about it for years, but to see it in the show, the facility you run now is pretty good.
Well, we got so lucky, and this is also because of Larry, when I bought it, I had no building, no ring, no nothing. I had 2 students that were paying and 2 left over for another.
Wow.
Yes, so I just bought the name itself. There was no social media. I had to get everything going. And the principal of Paulsboro High School, who's friends with Larry, says, "Hey, Larry, you still got that school?" He said, "Well, Dan has it." And he goes, "Well, do you guys want to come into our wrestling building, our wrestling room?" And Larry calls me, and I was an amateur wrestler, and I knew Paulsboro. They used to kick our ass all the time.
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." And I came in, and I fell in love with the building. I mean, I love the building. It's got a full weight room. It's got the showers. It's got amateur mats throughout. A perfect spot. It's everything you could want in a professional wrestling / amateur wrestling building. It's perfect.
Well, and again, watching the show, you're taking your students, and you're known now. And this is going to skip up dramatically, and we'll talk about that. But because of the exposure, you're known for getting people through the system and at least getting them a shot at being seen.
Yes.
And that you're not promising you're going to be John Cena, but you're going to get the tools. And what I was fascinated to see is those tools include everything from simply working the turnbuckles and setting up the ring. So how comprehensive is the wrestling education you get through the Monster Factory?
It's most wrestling schools, they just cover the in-ring stuff because that's how you get the students and you keep them happy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Students don't want to do what I put them through. And that's why, when my students make it, they tend to stay in the business because they understand the business.
Okay.
They're not getting punched in the face when they show up to WWE, and they have to learn now how to set up the ring, to take it down, to load up the truck. You do all that stuff there. They don't have a paid crew. You are the paid crew.
It's like Preston. Preston, your band days.
Yes.
You gotta haul the stuff around yourself, set it up yourself.
And that's what we do to our students. But here's what I tell them. I'm like, you're paying me, and you're doing this. But imagine how easier it's going to be when you're making really good money.
Yeah.
And you have to do all this stuff and get yelled at. I was like, I always tell them, if you leave here and you get a contract, awesome. But if you don't, you're at least leaving here a better person because you got some work ethic, you understand the business, and you can apply everything I teach you to any trade.
So the focus of the series is you, but it's also a selection of students that you're teaching, all with different sort of skill sets and reasons for being there. And give us some of the highlights of your students featured in the series.
Well, Twitch is one of my favorite students, but also most frustrating because he wouldn't realize how talented he is. I would sit there and I'd be like, you can sing, you can do all this stuff. You're an amazing talent. Just apply it to wrestling.
He has Tourette's.
Yes,
correct?
He has Tourette's. He has Asperger's. He has acid reflux, ADHD. I mean, he has it all. But
he's got it all.
Yes, he's got it all. It was so funny. The first time I met him, he was in high school, and he came to a camp. And I'm hearing him twitching.
Yeah.
And I'm going, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need some water or something?" I didn't say it so nicely.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I have Tourette's." And I could see, he kind of, took him down.
Yeah.
So then, he starts to, do it again. And I'm like, "You don't even have," and he goes, "Yes, I don't have the fun Tourette's. I don't curse." So that's when we started okay, this is great.
He's got a winning personality.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He's got the one-liners.
Yeah.
And then, there's Goldie who started with us. This is what I like the most about this is everybody that is in this pretty much started at a very early age. Mimi started with us at age 14.
Wow.
She is now 20. Goldie started with us at 17. He is now 22. I have all these people, Bobby Buffet, all these characters, but to see them mature right before your eyes, our kids don't see it. I see it. You know what I mean? They don't see the growth that they make.
All right. So at Monster Factory, what are the age requirements if they want you to be a trainer?
We have junior programs that are from age 10 to 17.
Wow.
And they're on Saturdays from 9:30 to 11. But we also welcome them to come in during the week with their parents, and they can participate. a lot of wrestling schools will have kids wrestling. We do not let them bump in the ring. They do not take bumps. They do not anything with their head, anything. It is all crash pad stuff and then bumping all of us older students around.
Okay. What does bumping mean?
It means taking a back bump, hitting the ring. Basically, you can get a concussion doing that. So we don't even let them even come close to doing that.
Okay.
Danny, I want to ask you about the filming process, because if you put a camera on somebody, they tend to act a little bit differently than they would in normal life. And this is a series based on your life and your business. Did you get used to the cameras? Did you perform for the cameras? Because you used to being a performer as well.
So here's how this went down. As soon as I bought the Monster Factory in 2011, I would always be running cameras everywhere because I envisioned us becoming a very big school, and I wanted the kids used to cameras, and it's good exercise. Plus, every once in a while, you get good footage. Some good things happen. And then once they started coming around, we kept our own cameras around. Whether we were just taping and never saw light of day.
That's a good idea.
But it was just them getting reps and getting that.
Yeah, that whole thing of comfortability in front of the cameras. And again, we've said it many times. That's why you have John Cena.
Yes.
That's why you have Dwayne Johnson. You have a lot of these people who are not only who've come from wrestling, who are the huge paycheck earners out in Hollywood, the people that can get projects done. So that's a big part of it. How many students do you have coming to you who say, I want to parlay this into stunt work, I want to parlay this into acting, as opposed to how many are just purely there for wrestling?
Most, I would say, every single one that comes to me is coming to me for wrestling.
Okay.
If they go into that, sure. Like, for example, one of the people that came to us about a year and a half ago, right after the pandemic, he wound up getting a role in the Hustle movie.
Oh,
because Jeremiah saw him while we were filming our thing and said he would be perfect in the movie. So he got to go there and be in the movie and be in the set and stuff like that. Now he doesn't even wrestle anymore. He's doing his own thing.
Wow.
But that's what can fall into your laps. We've had people go and read for commercials. Derek Lewis, our announcer, was just on Wheel of Fortune.
What?
Yeah.
Is he? You had a guy. Is he the very tall guy?
Yes.
So and you were explaining this. I didn't realize this, Preston.
Oh yeah,
Explain
he's like 6'5".
Explain why that's a problem.
Well, you have somebody, let's say John Cena in the ring, who's only 6 foot, and your announcer is taller than him and towering over him.
Right.
Same reason, I guess. If there was referees in basketball that were like 7 foot, I doubt they would be on the court.
Right.
But like this is like in wrestling, everything is optics because it's theater. I try to tell everybody it's theater. It has very little to do with talent. It's more or less, are you a good person? Can they invest in you?
Right.
And are you not going to screw things up? That's pretty much it. It's very rarely to do with like, oh, we have to get that guy because he does this. They'll go, no, we'll take what he does and give it to someone who's not an idiot.
It's interesting because it is a balance of things that really go into making the perfect entertainer.
Yes.
And first and foremost is fan friendly. I guess, and you treat your by the way, you can curse on Apple TV.
Oh, yes.
So
that was one of the things I was like, guys.
Yeah, but you're fatherly.
Yes.
And they look up to you that way, and you cultivate this. You have your own family, so obviously you know that. Is it? Do you ever get disappointed that perhaps someone's come in there for the wrong reasons, or is there anybody you can't work with from the jump?
Yes, we've had that. Gabby was talking about it during an interview, and I totally forgot about this because sometimes I'll just be like, "Hey guys, let's just talk. Let's just see what's going on. Let's just have a mental health day where we just talk about stuff because I can just feel the tension and stuff." And the girl goes, "Well, I'm not here for therapy," and I go, "Okay, there's the door."
Yeah.
I was like, this is part of it. I was like, if you don't want to be part of this, then get out, because you're not going to make it.
Right.
I read Gabby worked in the mayor's office here in Philadelphia at one point.
Yep, she still does.
What does she do? What's her any idea?
The pencil pusher.
Okay.
I don't honestly, I was getting like really bad flashbacks coming in here because I rarely listen to morning radio just because it brings me back to working in like construction and stuff. And I was like, and I would be so, you know what I mean? I felt like I was like in chains. I would be on a job site and be like, okay, all right.
Right.
I'm miserable. I want to be wrestling. I want to do something in entertainment. I want to be writing. I want to do something.
Yeah.
This isn't for me, you know? So, like, as I'm driving in, I'm like, oh, man, I can still remember. I was like, I would be on a telephone pole right now. It would be windy. It would be horrible out. And I'd be dealing with people I don't like. So,
well, Danny, you've been at this for a while now, and so I'm sure you've got a good eye and a good instinct for people when they walk in the door. But do you occasionally find yourself being surprised by somebody? You'll kind of do a read on them and go, no, I don't think so. And then they turn out to be.
Yeah, I stopped judging a while ago. For example, Goldie. When he came to me, he was 17 years old, skinny little kid, terrified, behind the curtain, trying to quit every day, crying, everything known to man. And then a couple years later, he's my best student, and he looks like $1 million because he put in the hard work.
Yeah.
There he is up on the screen. So, like, I don't like to have that preconceived notion. Plus, what I found out in wrestling, whenever you put someone over, like, say if someone walks in the door, they're 6'5", chiseled, and I go, you're amazing, you're probably going to go on to get signed. Now, every student in the building that's been sweating and doing all this stuff for the last couple of years hates him or her.
Right.
And then he thinks that he's better than everybody and he deserves this and he deserves that. Then he starts telling his friends and then he tells this and then it's a big toxic soup.
Right. So with that, you have there was a shift a number of years ago in wrestling where you used to have the the towering walking slabs of meat. That became a lot more agile, a lot more gymnastic-ish, if I may. So normal builds, or obviously they're in great shape, but and I assume that is added to an influx of people thinking, well, maybe it is for me.
Yeah, like that's what's so great now. Like I say, it's every gender, every size, every race, everything. It's perfect. Like we were so used to like. It had to be like 6'5", 300 pounds. And then you're like, okay, well, that's boring. Like, I don't want to see a football game of nothing but offensive linemen slapping into each other.
Because was it Jake Paul or his brother is doing wrestling? Yeah. And I remember Logan. So, right. And he was obviously putting in the work. They were talking to the other wrestlers who he's with. And it's like, the guy's really putting in the work.
Well, I'm friends with one of the guys that helped train him, Hurricane Helms. He helped train him. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest helped out with that too. But yeah, like for example, like Bad Bunny, here's a celebrity millionaire.
Yeah.
But he bought a house in Orlando just so he could be close to the performance center so he could train to be a wrestler.
Well, I have a question about Bad Bunny because every now and then I his name surfaces and it seems like he's sort of a renaissance man.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's everywhere.
Yeah, and really talented, apparently very likable, and just a good dude. I know very little about Bad Bunny, but everything I ever read about the guy, it says nice things about him.
That's exactly my introduction to him was watching wrestling and him coming out and rapping.
Yeah,
and then he was with one of my students and coaches, Damian Priest. They were like a tag team. And he was just like, no, he's amazing. He's the nicest guy. He works hard. He's in the gym from sun up, sundown.
That's
and
wild.
He'll just put in that work.
That's cool.
If you're just tuning in, it's Danny Cage, who's here. He's the owner of The Monster Factory, which is a series on Apple TV+. It's a new documentary series, 6 episodes for that. It's available now if you want to see that. Danny, what's some of the wisdom you like to pass on to your students about the pitfalls of what they're getting into and professional wrestling, and if you do make it to the show, what you want to watch out for?
We talk about this at training all the time about, the backstabbing and all this stuff. I pretty much always tell the students a bunch of little key things. Number one, communication is key. Most times, misunderstandings are because of miscommunication. That's why I don't have an issue. I tell everybody the way I feel. If I don't like something, I'll let you know. I might not do it nicely. Another thing is repetition breeds habit, and that's good or bad. If you have something that you're doing bad and you do it over and over again, it's going to become a bad habit. You got something that you do it over and again, it's good. It's going to become a good habit. And not to put all their eggs in one basket and to be open-minded.
Right.
Because there's so many people that are like, no, I just have to do this. I just have to do this. I just have to do this. If you do that, you're missing the whole world around.
You had to be. When you had to make that decision, you knew you weren't going to be the wrestler yourself, but you were going to go in another direction.
And then when that happened is I wasn't coaching then. I started then writing.
Yeah.
And I started writing for people because I knew WWE needed writers, but you also needed to go to college. And I'm not going to college, but I'm a very good writer. So I started writing for different comedians and stuff like that, and basically doing ghostwriting stuff and getting a reputation and going in studio and doing stuff like this on the radio where I would sit and I would basically email jokes to the people as they're on the air.
Right.
And that was like one of those things that I needed to do something creative. I needed that outlet.
Outside of the mechanics of wrestling, learning how to operate in the ring, what about like things like character development and so on? That's a big part of that. It's huge.
It's I tell everybody, I'm like, if you're going to sign up to wrestle, just get a screenwriting book and read it right now.
Yeah.
The hero's journey and character development, it's key. Like, you should know where.
It's essential.
Yes. You should know where. Like, if I go like this to him, I'm like, all right, I'm talking to your character right now. What do you drive? And they're like, I was like, yeah, you shouldn't stutter. You should know exactly what you drive.
Right.
You should know what you live in, how you live, everything. And it is key because if you don't know your character's motivation, how can you do anything?
You know, it's funny. Years ago, I remember the WWE, I think it was the WWE at the time, came in and sort of poached a number of Conan O'Brien's writers.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and like I'm like, why would they need that?
Yeah,
and they. That's part of the deal. Preston talks about Ric Flair.
I knew Rick's got to come up.
Ric Flair, and that is as well-defined a character as you could possibly be.
Without question. You asked Ric Flair, and in character, he could answer anything and everything. He had that guy's history down pat.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, that's also the frustrating part about wrestling is because I don't believe we should be in character all the time.
Okay.
Right.
What does that do to our mental... We talk about Heath Ledger and things like that. Imagine you're a wrestler and you're like this for 10 to 15 years.
Well, and there was a time in like the late 80s and 90s where you were expected to be your character all the time during interviews, interacting with fans and so on. We get the guys in here pretty regularly and you find out who they really are.
Right.
And they dance that balance of character, real person, and the show versus what it's really like. And yes, there are decided things, but we do this as well. And so it's morphed over the years. So but there is a fine line, a balance.
I think it should be like movies. I think like it would be so silly if we're watching Batman and Christian Bale and Hardy are beating each other up at the red carpet.
Right, exactly.
It would just be silly. But in pro wrestling, we do this.
It's you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's silly, and I think it embarrasses people to admit that they like it because, like, you're trying to be taken advantage of. They're trying to fool you into believing this thing is real, even though they tell you it's fake.
Right.
It's you think of those older guys, and again, we love hearing about the older guys, but these new guys are just they're self-promotion machines.
Yes. Yeah.
They work it so well, and again, the years, and we've talked about this. If you think you are beyond the attraction of a well-handled wrestling match or a presentation or like what you guys are teaching the students to do, go see it once in person.
Yeah.
You'll be hooked.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I tell that to everybody who comes in. I'm like, even like when they started filming in like 2015, 16, I was like, there's more here than you realize.
Yeah.
And then like they started like being like, yeah, we're going to be back next week. We'll be back next week.
What does this mean to you? Because I mean, honestly, you're receiving basically you're being codified as the school,
right?
And there are many out there. This can only mean big things.
Well,
for
here's
you.
this is the dangerous part of this. Since I didn't go to the WWE or to WCW or Ring of Honor and wrestle and all this, there's a lot of people that are like, he has no business doing this. Even though my results show that I can do this and I do it better than everybody, it doesn't matter because those in wrestling hate that I can do this.
I think though, if they've always impressed me as being savvy businessmen. However you get there, if you start to carry the gravitas that you can't avoid, then there's going to be some sort of synergy because they have viewed you as sort of as a farm team setup, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, but still they don't return my emails. Like WWE will not return my emails. That's just the way it is because like I'm not one of their guys. Why would they have me there to teach their guys? Because it goes against everything. Because the way WWE and other people do it is What's going on?
I don't know. I'm hearing some weird sounds.
Right? Oh, you guys are hearing it too?
Yeah. See, that's the kayfabe police. They're coming to arrest me.
That's it. Vince McMahon's got a listening device.
What is he doing?
No, but and it's got to be frustrating. But the bottom line is, word is getting out even further, especially with a show like this, and you don't have anything to prove.
And the thing is, I've never wanted to work for them. Like I kind of did, but didn't. I want to do my thing. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm really good at it. And just leave me alone. Like Apple TV Plus, I'll work with them forever. They let me do my thing. They let me be me. They never tried to say like, well, maybe you shouldn't. They were like, no, go ahead. This is you.
So
throw it all out there.
So this debuted this past Friday?
Correct.
What's the reaction been like so far?
I have not heard one bad thing, honestly. And what I really liked is Larry's sister, because Larry passed away a few years ago. Larry's sister saw it and loved it.
The original owner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Larry's
great.
sister saw it and loved it. Big shout out to her. She's awesome, Darlene. And then his old tag team partner, Dynamite Jack Evans, saw it and he loved it. So, like, that's really, like, that and the students and their parents like it.
Students are great.
Anybody else, I don't really care. Like, you like, let the critics say what they want. The students all loved it. The people in wrestling love it. And the people that are really close that matter to me love it.
And
so.
Danny, Monster Factory, you have shows. You've got events coming up, right?
Correct. Yep. And we're about to announce that we're going to do some shows in April because we were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen with this. We didn't know if we were going to be going some places.
Right.
So what we're going to do is probably do a couple of shows in April and do a screening of maybe 2 episodes, a Q&A, and then a couple matches.
That's cool.
And then we'll do that like every week in April and so we can have all the shows being shown and questions to the wrestlers and everything.
You know, it's pretty cool. Again, your students are charismatic and the ones that specifically featured in the episodes, but the women are badasses.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they
can bring
they
it.
are throwing down. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like what I said. Like when Mimi was like 16 years old, she got her nose broken in the middle of a match.
Yeah,
blood everywhere. Now I'm just like, oh man, I feel so bad, and I'm like coming to her afterwards, and I'm like with a towel, and I'm like, you okay? She goes, yeah, it happens, and she just wiped her face and just walked into the locker room. And then she cut a promo. We got a camera in front of her, and she cut a promo.
It sounds a lot like Kathy. Kathy's one of those.
Kathy,
Just
that's
shake it
actually
off.
her left arm is fake. She lost it during a particularly brutal traffic
In fact,
report.
that's her shtick. She takes her left arm off and beats the other
I'm
person
the
with
most
it.
disarming news girl.
She in the corner crying for 6 days.
Oh my God. Well, this is so cool that you've worked so hard and gone through everything that you've gone through to have the spotlight shining on you like this and doing it the way you want to do it. You know,
that's what I take the most pride in is like we did it our way.
Yeah.
And there was we didn't compromise our principles. We just did it our way. And like, if it fails, at least I did it my way.
And look at the tourism in Paulsboro is going to be amazing.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Tell me to come on by.
Where exactly are you guys located?
We're right in the middle of Paulsboro, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro.
And that's where the shows happen as well?
Yes,
Okay.
everything's in-house. We built it because during the pandemic, we used to have 2 rings. During the pandemic, we sold one of them, and I built a studio.
Yeah.
So then the kids started to learn production and everything like that. So we were set up for this. So we do all our in-house, and we stream it online and everything.
Hey, does the backyard stuff still go on?
Yeah, I have no issues with that. But
I always found that really disturbing.
It is, but I mean, like... I think like if there was no wrestling, we would still see like people backyard beating each other up. I mean, it's Roman times didn't have that. You know?
No, you're right.
These guys,
We did. We would do our favorite stunt fights from movies. It was all part of the deal.
That's the thing. Like me growing up, I was a huge nerd, so I had like Dungeons and Dragons friends and Transformers and Masters of the Universe. I didn't have friends that were into pro wrestling, so it was like me and that was it.
Right.
But I kind of liked it because then like I got into my own head and I kind of like zoned in and I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
All right, so those who are interested, you got to get in touch. In fact, if people are interested in being a student, how do they go?
They can just text me. Like, this is my number. I give my number out. My number's on my card and out at 609-471-7904.
All right.
And nobody texts me disturbing things. They don't. They don't, honestly. They'll just literally, people just call me. You'd be surprised. Like, it's, I like being vulnerable because it's powerful.
Yeah.
You know, it's out there of like, go ahead, call me, text me,
It
whatever.
doesn't
Here's
matter.
when I train. Show up. We'll talk. It doesn't matter.
No, it's
so
cool.
this is for everybody. That's my phone number. Text me and say, hey, can you send me information? Or can me and my parents come in or me and my girlfriend come in? Doors are open and come and watch training.
The number one more time?
609-471-7904.
That's awesome. And that is Danny Cage. So make sure that you get in touch or let somebody know if they want to be a student and learn what it takes to be a professional wrestler. Or you can watch Monster Factory, which is available on Apple TV Plus right now. That's cool, man. We're very happy for you, bud. Thanks for coming by.
I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. And to
Absolutely.
everybody out there, I love you. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Let's hear it for Danny Cage, guys, on the Preston and Steve Show. And you can check out monsterfactory.org as well. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back in just a moment. And by the way, why don't we take caller number 30 and see if you know the answer to our question for the Preston and Steve photo hunt for Universal Orlando Resorts. Caller number 30. Let's see if you can get it. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
We couldn't hear you.
What?
Sir? Could you speak up, please?
Can semen be extracted from a fully...
but can it, though? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, so I
Because
have,
they say
I
that-
have my prostate is out and my seminal vesicles, I guess they're referred to,
They
are
ain't
removed.
there.
Right.
Mine are still there, right? So I've been vasectomized.
I believe you can still produce a little.
I can.
If you get the attachment.
So here's the deal. Like, they say that you can reverse a vasectomy.
Yes,
It's
you
not
can.
100%. It's
Right.
not 100%, but they do, all they do is just, reattach or whatever.
Except it comes out your butt.
So what that tells me.
If you reverse it fully.
I guess my wife would be way less inclined to make a baby that way.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Science.
All right.
But
All right, back up to my vagina.
God.
Oh, boy.
The
Case, it looks like
Sorry, I snorted.
it says you can withdraw sperm from the testicle, but I don't know if that's if that's after the vasectomy.
It has to be, because if it can be reversed, it means I'm still making
So
it.
you're still making it, but your body absorbs it.
Right, because you've closed or the pathway.
Right.
You've closed the egress, as they say.
Right.
Right.
So if you had to bet on the male members of the Preston and Steve Show conceiving a baby at this point, where would you put your money? Because Preston and Casey and I have all been had vasectomies.
I'd put my money on Steve.
Steve had prostate cancer and had his prostate removed. So, but
I don't understand your question.
If one of us were forced to have a baby, if we had to keep we had to keep like the population of the earth going.
I would do it.
I would love to have another baby.
Who would have the best
question.
chance, even though
I was wondering, could you help me?
Scientists come to us.
Even though we've had a vasectomy.
Right, yeah. Where's the money on the male members of the Preston and Steve Show producing another human being?
Without having a reversal done?
Yeah.
It has
None
happened.
of us, I guess.
But that's what I'm asking about, like with Casey's question. Like, if we took the sperm out of the nutsack,
He's saying who's
who's the best chance?
Yeah.
Oh, who would be?
It wouldn't be Steve, right?
You guys are
Oh.
the same
Steve
age. I have
doesn't
nothing.
have
His
anymore.
is different
I've got
than what you.
confetti in mine.
You guys can still produce it. Your body's just
Okay.
absorbing it.
Okay, I don't know. That's why
So
I'm
you're
I know.
full
I've had
of
three
sperm,
kids.
Nick.
You've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Me, so I'd put our money
I got
on
like
us
6 or
over
7
you.
that I don't know about.
Yeah. Wow.
Has Bill hung himself yet, by the way, with this conversation?
I don't know. Did you think about what you were talking about in the bathroom?
I did.
Okay. Casey and I had a conversation in the bathroom.
Did you?
He's like, I think I want to ask you something, but I don't know if I want to ask you on the air or not.
Was it about the Dunkachino machine?
No, I think we're good on that.
We just shot a video, Marissa and I. I sort of had to explain why it literally looks like I threw a grenade into the machine.
I saw it. It's pretty nasty.
I ran into Andy in the kitchen, and she was like, "I just saw the email that said it was all good to go." She goes, "But what happened?"
Anyway,
Is it all cleaned up, by the way? It's
I didn't do it. I tried. There were no paper towels. There was no.
Casey keeps a stash of paper towels if you ever need them.
Yes,
and they have them in the bathroom too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab those. Hold on, Marissa has an update, I guess.
I don't know if it's cleaned up, but it is fixed.
Okay.
All right, excellent.
Matt Cowper swung by and
All right.
fixed it.
Oh, that was a
Just call me Mr. Fix It.
I just thought you were just accentuating fixed, but that was a Matt
No
Cowper.
reason to stress out.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, so this is a judgment call for everybody here. All right. So
if we don't want to talk about this, we'll move on to something
We can
else.
move on.
If we decide
Move
this
on.
is not worth talking about.
Is it about food, pretzel-like food in Oregon?
It's about food.
He was wrestling with the idea of bringing it up or not. So
All right, go ahead.
So judgment call. So your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend is asleep. They're napping, right? And you have a hankering to go to Rita's Water Ice,
right?
And okay,
I know. Okay.
I know where you're going with this too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question: did this happen to you, and did it cause a problem?
This happened to me, and I got the double middle finger.
Okay.
So I said spouse woke up.
I had a similar thing happen recently, so I can commiserate. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you wake your spouse up to see if they would like something from Rita's Water Ice?
As they are resting, as they are getting their much-deserved sleep, correct?
Yes. And you know this person.
I can
and
answer immediately when you're done.
You have woken said person up from a peaceful nap before, and it was never a good experience. So, so do you leave them asleep? Okay. So you have a couple options here. You leave them asleep, right? And you don't get them anything from Rita's because for some reason
do you touch their boobies?
Always. For some reason, if you go to any other store, you know exactly what to get them, right? You know how they like their stuff. But for some reason, you don't know what their go-to order at Rita's is.
Wait, you didn't get her anything?
I didn't get her anything.
May I ask you? May I ask you a question?
Yes.
While this debate was going on, did something in the back of your mind go, "She'll never know"?
There might have been that.
That's exactly what it was. You thought that if you ate it quickly enough, the remnants of it would be gone, and she would be none the wiser.
No
But
fuss, no
you
muss.
do know her. You could take it. I'm sure you would have gotten something that she liked.
There was a good chance
Don't come home with nothing.
There was a good chance that said nap could have turned into a full night's sleep.
Or
you could put it in the freezer.
Diane doesn't like it when Casey spends money on frivolous things, and she would have gotten mad that he spent money on them.
No,
my wife. Well, here's my situation. My wife will take 5-6 hour naps.
Yeah.
So I mean, she is, and I commend her for this.
Yes.
It happened over the weekend. It's the ice cream bakery on Ridge, and they have great soft ice cream. And so I'm getting a damn cone as I pass by. There was not the traditional 80-car line going in, and I'm like, I'm going for it. But I call an audible. Yeah. And I bought her something, and it was a home run. I kind of knew what she wanted. Yeah. But I mean, you do the gesture.
Yeah.
And that buys you. I gave it a shot.
Yeah. My wife just sent me a text. She goes, "You don't have to wake me up. Just buy me my favorite flavor." Now, I'm going to admit, I don't know what your favorite flavor is.
Right.
Name a store, and I can tell you what she gets from that store.
I believe that.
For some reason, Rita's, I'm like, I don't know what your favorite flavor is there.
Rita's is a sweet spot thing too. I mean, like that's a very specific. You're omitting somebody from you going there, right? So, and in my household, if I were to do that, that would be the end of the relationship. So I would, Casey, not wake her though. Right. I would take an educated guess and try and bring something home.
Yes, of course.
I did not do that, and I made a mistake.
Wow.
The educated guess with the purchase will buy you the insurance
At least
you
you
need.
tried.
Yeah, you tried, yeah.
You didn't even try. Sorry, Marissa.
No, I'm going to throw out this option. Just buy multiple guess, and then if one of those happens to be your favorite flavor, Casey, then you win in the end because you get to enjoy it as well.
And also, the gesture.
My story is much more selfish. The Big Top Surfing Sundays came by our house.
Oh yeah.
And Rochelle was taking a nap, and I'm like, I'll just zip out and get a thing, and she'll be asleep, and
she'll never know.
She'll never know. And by the way, ice cream, I don't think keeps as well.
Right, I
in a
was just gonna
freezer
say,
as water ice might. So then maybe
Water
that's
ice
a little
definitely does
caveat.
not keep as well in the freezer. Not my
Well,
freezer.
you're right. If it stays in there too long, it's I don't like that frozen solid. Yeah,
It
I'm
becomes
not down
like
with
an
that.
ice cube.
Yes.
But in my mind, I was like, she'll never know. She'll never know. And then she knew. And then
And what happened?
She gave me the hard time. She's like, you went without me?
My freaking daughter dined me out, man. I was like,
oh, dude.
Yeah.
I do feel like
the bond of trust has been broken.
Right? And I paid
I'm watching you.
Yeah.
because you know why? Because she probably understood. No, she understood because, and I hate to be like that person, but like a lot of guys are the same when it comes to things like this. Like it's just common sense. Like, why would you have not picked your wife up something? Even if it went in the freezer, even if it became a block of ice, she would have been like, oh, okay, well, he helped me out. It's not great, and I'll go get my own tomorrow or something like that. But like,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And my house is filled with people. And, you know, I probably should ask my mom if she wanted something, and I didn't. You know,
Why don't you just tell me?
Me and Avery just snuck out. And
oh my God.
I did ask my older daughter. Casey said no, she didn't want anything.
She was like, no, I'll just tell Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, every now and then it's okay to do something for just you. All right, I'm gonna back you on this because I was thinking the same thing, man. If I got it, Rochelle, then I got to ask the kids, and then it's a whole big thing.
I don't have that.
And then I got to wait for these guys to all get their shoes on and come outside and get it. And by the time we get out there, it's gonna be a huge line.
Yes,
I could just zip in and zip right back out and get my little cone and eat it, and I'm a happy man.
May I suggest something though?
You probably shouldn't have had kids.
Right. the kids you can take off the list, but not the wife. You know what I'm saying?
No, you cannot take your kids off. Like, if
Absolutely.
you are going out to
You're
get
trying
ice
to teach
cream,
them
a thing that a child would
don't
love.
eat that food. Eat vegetables.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go get ice cream, but you're gonna stay home, and I'm not gonna get any for you.
Well, exactly. I got the double middle finger last night. Okay,
that's pretty harsh.
Well, I mean, you know, she's
jokingly,
but
right.
You know, still there was intent, and so what I'm saying is,
were your lips discolored from the Rita's water ice?
No, because
what are you talking about?
Dude,
why are your lips blue?
I went with like flesh colored. I was like, she'll never know. I got lemon.
Yeah. Do you have any flesh colored ices?
By the way, my new favorite flavor is they have a Florida orange. They didn't have Florida orange last night, but they did have an orange cream. So I went lemon on top, orange cream on the bottom.
You thought about that? You thought about your mouth being discolored?
No, it's just my favorite flavor. The lemon is
that would be the best. So he's got these big, bright purple lips.
What are you talking about? No, it's just really cold.
No, I just miss Prince.
Listen, if you're going to give me the double middle finger, then you have to make sure that you, every time you get something somewhere, you either text me or surprise me with something, and that is never the case.
So I could have gotten the sundae that she likes, but I got the ribbon soft chocolate and vanilla ice cream, and I also. You do things to buy yourself a little insurance.
Yeah.
I got her a quart of it so that she could.
I failed.
Yeah.
I failed. I definitely failed. Okay, I failed. What's your flavor? What's your favorite flavor? I don't know what your favorite flavor is.
Did she ever tell you?
No, let's see if she.
You need to know now for your.
This is actively happening right now.
Yeah, it's
okay. He's checking his text messages.
It does not indicate. Now, what would I?
Do you guys all know Do you know your roster of favorite menu items for your significant other?
I mean, give me a store and I'll tell you.
When it comes to
I know something that I could get that she'd like.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe not her favorite, but yeah.
Right.
Like if,
no, just when it comes to desserts, I know my business. You know,
Okay, yeah, likewise.
Like that's important. And if I were to swing by an ice cream store and not get her something or a Rita's or whatever, I would know what to get. Yeah, like if I'm ordering takeout, it's more of a guessing game.
My ability to call an audible is quite sensational.
On desserts,
and now, mind you, I'm not dealing with kids. I'm dealing with one person I can focus in on.
Yeah.
So with everything. However, we'll do this thing, and I'll be going out to to get milk from the Wawa. Said, you want anything? And she'll look at me and she'll do this thing we do. She'll go, why don't you surprise me?
Oh.
And I always nail it.
Steve, I could get you dessert.
Yes, you know.
You know what I mean? Like, if Steve was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take dessert," like I would know what to get him.
Right.
Chocolate chip cookie.
Chocolate chip cookies, brownies, dark
Chocolate
dark chocolate.
Yes,
no whipped cream.
No whipped cream.
You can give me anything. I'll eat it.
Yeah, you're more of because you like to try stuff.
I like the sandwich.
But your favorite recent is the
pistachio is my favorite.
That's
flavor
now at the top of the list.
Yeah.
In fact, I bought some pistachio gelati.
Yeah.
Gelato, I guess I should say. Last night.
Dessert-wise, you know what's become a little bit overrated is that chocolate lava cake.
Oh, but it's so
Has
good.
become
Why is it overrated?
I was just talking to my wife. I said, is there any situation in which chocolate lava cake is not applicable?
You seen the movie Chef? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to find out who is going to win our trip to Universal Orlando Resort. 8 o'clock this morning, I threw a clue out to you, asked you to take a look on PrestonandSteve.com at our photo hunt gallery and answer the question, We were looking for the 30th caller. If that person gets it right, they win the prize. If not, we'll get somebody else. But we're going to go to caller number 30, and that is Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks. Kevin, where are you from, bud?
I am from Ambler, Pennsylvania.
From Ambler. All right. I hope that you have done what we've asked you to do. Went to PrestonandSteve.com to look through the Universal Photo Hunt Challenge photo gallery. And I will now ask you the question, who is on the jet ski?
That would be Marissa.
And that would be correct. Kevin is right. And Kevin, my friend, you have just gotten yourself an amazing trip to Universal Orlando Resort. Flights provided by Spirit. A trip for two for you, my friend. Congratulations.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. I'm dancing on the sidewalk right now.
Yes. I love to hear that. Well, you've got so many great things to choose from, and we are going to recommend highly that you get on the Velocicoaster.
Yes.
After listening to you guys all week, definitely. That's the first thing I'm going to.
Fantastic. Who are you going to take with you, by the way?
My 12-year-old girl.
So you married young. Oh, no, you're your daughter.
That's his daughter.
I can't wait to surprise her with this. She actually knows about the contest. She's never going to believe this.
No, good for you, man. That's going to rock her world. That's terrific.
That's huge.
I know. I'm going to text her right after I get off the phone with you in school so she can freak out.
I love it. All right, Kevin, hang on the line. We'll get your information, sending you to Universal Orlando Resort. Let's hear it for Kevin, everybody. That's huge, man. And from sending you on a high-speed coaster to putting a towering volcano right outside your hotel room, nobody tests the limits of absolute awesome like Universal Orlando Resort. And we're not done yet. We have two more of these trips to give away before the week is up. So tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., same thing. Make sure you're ready for it.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And this morning it is brought to you by A.D. Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. A.D. Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. You can visit them on the web at admoyer.com. We will begin with this story. Okay. The town motto, this is in Bucks County, by the way, Kevin.
Oh!
The town motto of Neighbors Helping Neighbors was suddenly tainted when police say a petty thief took matters into his own hands over the weekend. Police are looking for a man that they say stole money and goods from a roadside cooler of fresh eggs on Ebert Road in Springfield Township. And it is believed the suspect may also be responsible for similar crimes in the area. So you guys have seen the fresh eggs.
Yes,
people will set out for
very
sale.
Quaint stand.
And they'll ask you to. It's an honor system. You leave the money, you take the eggs, and sometimes it'll be firewood and stuff like that.
It's disgusting. Or sometimes they have some free money in a jar.
This guy's taking the money and the eggs.
Scumbag.
Yep.
He's probably from Delco.
Springfield Township Police said, while this may not be the crime of the century, our residents deserve the ability to place things out for folks to enjoy and keep the cycle of supporting small business and neighbors without the worry of petty thieves stealing from them.
And Kathy, we have our own tip jars to steal from in Delco.
Right.
We don't need to go all the way up to Bucks County.
To God knows where.
Surveillance caught the suspect in the act as he approached the unassuming igloo cooler. Set atop a wooden chair in someone's yard. Anyone with information is asked to call.
Take the money. Take the money. Take the money.
All right, here's another story out of Pennsylvania. This is not in either one of the respective
counties.
Delco, Bucksco counties. This is in Penn Argyle, Pennsylvania. Police departments there have arrested one man and is on the hunt for another accused of setting off explosives.
What?
In Northampton County. Neighbors are fed up with explosions that shake their homes and wake up their children and pets. The neighbors say that these are no normal fireworks. They're much more startling, and they rattle their windows. Many are hopeful that this latest update leads to the return of peaceful nights. It was no shock when police were dispatched to Penn Argyle's Laurel Avenue around 3 a.m. on Saturday. Officers didn't find anyone responsible. But Sunday morning, the police said, we got tips from citizens of surveillance videos from Ring doorbell cameras, and we followed up with that, and we were able to track down the 2 suspects. Those suspects were 57-year-old Joseph Zanette and 32-year-old Justin Taylor. The district attorney's office says a video showed Taylor carrying a long black tube, which is commonly used in the propulsion of aerial and mortar shells. Law enforcement quickly executed search warrants for the Applegate home and Zanette's house. They seized things and from both locations, including a pipe with burnt explosive debris, mortar cakes with hundreds of rounds, and other explosive equipment.
Mortar cakes sound good.
ATF, the bomb squad, and several local police, EMS, and fire departments helped out. While police were at Zanette's home, they say he showed up and admitted to igniting explosives with Taylor. He said he had been drinking at the time.
Of course.
And later said the explosions were a mistake. They are both facing charges of arson, endangering property, possessing explosive materials, and a whole bunch of other charges.
So this sounds like it was a kind of an earth-shattering explosion.
Yeah, and they just wanted to do it to, startle people, I think, is what they were after. So, now they're facing this. All right, nobody ever said that turtles worked quickly, though it took him nearly a century. The 90-year-old radiated tortoise known as Mr. Pickles is finally a dad.
Oh.
The Houston Zoo announced on Thursday that he and his partner, 53-year-old Mrs. Pickles, recently welcomed 3 tortoise hatchlings. So they have dill, gherkin, and jalapeno.
Okay. I like turtles.
The births are a big dill, the zoo said.
That's good.
Because the radiated tortoise, native to Madagascar, is critically endangered species whose numbers are declining. Radiated tortoise produce few offspring, according to zoo officials, and the species suffers from over-collection for illegal sales on the black market.
I like turtles.
Captive breeding programs have produced new radiated tortoises, but experts say that the reptiles may go extinct in the wild. First-time father Mr. Pickles is considered the most genetically valuable radiated tortoise in the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Service survival plan. Mr. and Mrs. Pickles have been an item since her arrival at the zoo in 1996.
I like turtles.
And it was only by chance that herpetology keeper at the zoo saw Mrs. Pickles laying her eggs one recent day at closing time. And they uncovered the eggs and moved them because they were likely to not have hatched on their own because Houston soil isn't hospitable to Madagascar native tortoises. But they got it on.
Nice.
And they got some baby turtles.
You've heard the sound of turtles getting it on. It's like a painful.
We used to play it all the time.
Yeah.
That, yeah, they used to be a regular. What would you have it?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Him and her got it on.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. A Whataburger employee's spot-on instincts led to the arrest of a 79-year-old man, Texas authorities said. The worker noticed a young girl and older man eating at a Whataburger in Texarkana just before noon on Monday. The employee called 911 because something, quote, didn't seem right about the situation. Officials began investigating and realized the worker's instincts were spot on after learning the pair barely knew each other. The 13-year-old girl told police that Michael Clark had offered to pay her for sexual favors. The 79-year-old
disgusting
had picked her up that morning before they stopped to eat at Whataburger. She also told police that Clark had inappropriately touched her a few weeks before. Police arrested him the following day. He is facing charges of indecency with child and solicitation and prostitution as well. So they got this psycho off the streets. All right, and then finally we'll do one more story. I need to do a short one. Okay, let's go with this one. Students at a Winnipeg elementary school were forced to abandon their classrooms thanks to an uncomfortable smell left behind, and it was done by a couple of skunks. Students and staff members had been moved to different locations throughout the community after skunks made their way into a crawl space in the school. A letter posted on the door of the school said the smell of skunk was worse today upon arrival as there are some challenges eradicating the animals. It's noted in the letter that there are no toxins in the skunk spray, but the smell is uncomfortable for most.
It'll make your eyes water.
The school is anticipating the situation will improve and families will be updated on the situation. The principal said in a statement that one skunk had been caught and relocated. They said they've deployed ozone generators to filter out the air and have made adjustments to the HVA system, and they're continuing to monitor the situation. But apparently it was really pungent. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we got to get a winner for the secret text word. That's been going on all morning long. So, Kathy, what number caller should we take now?
10.
10th caller at 215-263-WMMR. We'll come back and we'll see if you know the secret text word. We'll also get lesson question, trash, music, news. Stay there.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR. Your smart speaker gets
It's a chocolate ganache.
It's
frozen.
Yeah.
It's frozen, and you cook it, and that's how it becomes molten in the middle. He's just this critic doesn't understand how it's made, and he's just wigging out, and he's like, "There's more to it than you think." But yeah, chocolate lava.
A lot of places won't let you do takeout chocolate.
Lava cake
because it's not going to port well.
Yeah, right. I can't turn away a bread pudding if I'm out to dinner and that is on the dessert menu. I have to.
So you know, the Desmond has, it's one Philly's best for their bread pudding, and it is sensational. I know a little bit of the secret of their bread pudding.
Oh,
hot dog rolls.
Hot dog rolls. You know what else? Those Hawaiian rolls.
Yes,
King's Hawaiian. Those ones are really good.
Yep.
And the best dessert I've had in the last couple of years is actually they have
any dessert you don't have to get for your wife.
That one.
All right, I have an actual Kardashian roundup.
Oh, okay.
You're like 3 Kardashian stories here. So.
Think of it as one group flush.
Okay, Kardashian roundup. Here we go.
All right, we're going to round them up for you.
I'm Robert Mitchum, and this is Kardashian Roundup.
Kim shared an amazing throwback video featuring her, Khloe, and Kourtney auditioning for Star Search.
Oh, it was amazing.
Did you see it?
I didn't.
I've not seen it.
Okay, for what, spokesmodel?
They lip-synced Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now while wearing matching metallic outfits chosen by Kris Jenner.
Not much has changed because they're still pretending to have talent.
And they were little kids when they did this.
Oh, okay.
She wrote on Instagram, our Star Search audition. Clearly, we didn't get 4 stars, but Kris Jenner did for our outfits. The family matriarch commented on the post and wrote, "Those were the days when I got to dress you guys. I knew I should have been a stylist."
I thought, seeing this video that we're watching, I thought that was Ed McMahon, but it was Khloe.
Yes. Speaking of Khloe, she celebrated hitting a social media milestone yesterday, or on Wednesday. She added a photo of herself topless.
What?
In honor of her 178 million Instagram followers.
Okay.
Is that a milestone, 178 million?
No, it's just a reason to drop your top.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right? That was just the excuse for the photo.
It's kind of an arbitrary number, isn't it?
It's not topless.
Yeah, in the photo, well, her hair is covering her boobs.
Topless.
She's not wearing a top, but her top is covered.
Yeah.
I think is what Casey.
She is sans top.
Yeah.
She is
Fake
topless, but
And
her boobs aren't out.
It's covered with fake hair.
Man, I'm looking at these pictures. They just don't look real.
No.
It's so
just don't look real.
And I do not find this cosmetic surgery look in any way attractive.
Yeah.
I think there are a group of people that do, though.
They do, yes.
And I think it's people who all get plastic surgery and I guess understand it or understand why she wants to get it.
Yeah, body dysmorphia group.
Whatever that commercial is, Steve, that we see on TV with her in it, like she looks like she can't even really move.
Eating popcorn.
You what?
I got my daughter eating popcorn.
You're here with your daughter eating popcorn.
Yeah. And like it just looks so awkward. Like she's like hugging and playing with her daughter, but it's like her face.
Don't touch the face.
Yeah, her face doesn't move.
Don't touch the face.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Wait, excuse me, Chloe. You got a little schmutz here on.
Don't touch. Don't touch. Let it fall off. Let it dry up and fall off.
Don't touch. Don't touch. It might cave in.
Don't touch. Don't touch. Close the windows.
Close the window.
Mommy, you got a little something on your lip.
No. No. What did I tell you? I said don't touch mommy's face. Don't touch mommy's face. Don't touch mommy's face.
In the photo, Chloe is.
Don't even look at mommy's face. I don't know, the eye beams or something. I don't know.
Eye beams?
I don't know, maybe there's radiation. I don't know. I'm not willing to take the risk.
I want to remind you that our Love You Help You line is available for your convenience should you be looking to Well, if you're looking to get a little boost to a business, it's something we've still we're continuing, even though things have gotten a little bit more back to normal. But,
yeah, but
they're going back as well.
There's a big conundrum out there, and if I can take this opportunity, Preston, just to give you an idea of what we're looking for, what people are looking for. Our friend JP, who used to own the Ugly Moose in Manioc, now owns a place called the Bagataway Tavern in Conshohocken. Listen to what he's looking for. He needs a GM, kitchen manager, servers, bartenders, barbacks, experienced chefs. He's a great guy, great boss, and all those positions are available, and he needs help. He said he's finding it hard, to keep things running.
Right.
And that's the issue. So if you're looking for work, time has never been better. He actually says you can call him on his phone, his actual phone, which is 484-988-0942. The great place in Conshohocken. But again, if you have a business and you're looking for assistance, anything to help you get up and running. As you said, President, it's eased up a little bit, and hopefully we keep going in a good direction. But, man, it's wanted signs all over the place.
Wait, did he buy that from the owners, or was he always the owner?
He was always a co-owner, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's always been associated with that. The Ugly Moose sadly no longer exists.
Yeah, that was a great place.
It was great.
I
We
loved it
it.
there.
That was a cool place.
Yeah.
Let's try and forget about the moose for a moment.
Forget about the moose.
We need...
Why don't you forget the moose?
Ugly Moose! Ugly Moose!
I really enjoy the intro to the moose clip.
All the mooses are waiting for you.
Hey, which button was that?
It was pink, then green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you forget the moose?
That's
for a moment. Why don't you forget the moose? For a moment.
We need that needs to be a set clip.
That's great.
Yep, we'll have to do that.
Man, this is one of the best shows we've ever had.
And a moose charged a runner. Again! Did you not?
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
A moose charged a runner and left him with a hoof print shaped cut on the back of his head.
Oh, that's awful.
Colorado officials
That's just
said.
something to remember me by.
Yeah. The New Mexico man was running on a trail with his two dogs Wednesday when they encountered a moose.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
The runner was on a trail. The dogs were off leash about 50 feet in front of the man during the run. They suddenly bolted back toward the man. He stopped and saw the bull moose at about 50 feet. At that point, the dogs ran past him and left the scene. Yeah, they're out, dude.
Yeah.
They're checking out.
You had a story, was it earlier this week or last week, about a woman being, stomped?
Yep, exactly. The man took 2 steps towards the moose to see it better, and that caused it to charge towards the man.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
The moose attacked the runner, giving him minor injuries, and he was taken to the hospital and released the same day. The sheriff said he was very lucky that his only injury is a hoof print-shaped laceration on the back of his head.
You bet your ass.
Moose attacks in Colorado are increasing. They are protective animals and will defend their territory and young. Now, I had a moose question earlier this morning, trivia question for the stupid question, and did not know that they're solitary, so they do not have herds of moose.
That's why a lot of them are writers.
They live a lonely existence. And
that's sad.
Once their offspring are about 18 months old, the cow, the mom, will shun them, like push them away. Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's essentially what they do, and then they just kind of roam all alone.
Maybe they're happy, Kath. How do you know?
They are happy.
I guess. I mean, could be happy alone. I don't know. It just seems sad to not have any family or friends.
All right, how about this?
Poor things.
Police.
1 is the loneliest number that you ever moosed.
So we'll go through some stories here for you, starting with Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum. They are officially a couple.
Yeah!
Us Weekly has confirmed it. This comes after weeks of rumors. A source exclusively tells us of the actors Channing and Zoe are dating. They connected while working on their upcoming film, Pussy Island.
Pussy Island.
Yes.
Yes. Which is, we have yet to determine what Pussy Island is about.
Nope.
We assume it's an island that looks like a large vagina.
No, it might be cats.
Oh, that's true. Yes, cats, of course.
Oh.
So this is perfect timing because just by happenstance over the weekend, I watched the second Magic Mike movie. And Nick, you said you saw that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't quite get it, but and I'm not sure what exactly I watched. I felt like I went to the whole movie is basically a male dance review.
You're not sure if it's a movie.
It seems like there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
Other
There's
than
no story. It's just the show.
a lot of sitting around talking, and then a lot of pelvic thrusting into women's faces, and big presentations. And I can't say that I hated it.
I went with two women, and they loved it. So we all left the theater in a good mood because they were in a great mood. So why not? A little eye candy.
There's stuff, Nick, and you'll agree to this, that Channing Tatum does to these women.
Mr. Petty and his Heartbreakers on 93.3 WMMR, The Waiting. I know you've been waiting for a while to call in for the secret text word, so we will not make you wait any longer. We will go and we'll go fetch. I'm going to start using that word more. I'm going to go fetch a winner here.
Stop trying to make fetch a thing, Preston.
Sometimes it is. All right, I'm going to go to caller number 10, and that's Ryan. Hey, Ryan, good morning. Yeah. What was that, Ryan? Say that again. Memer. I love it. Ryan, do me a favor and give me the secret text word, bud.
Is it elephant?
It is elephant. You are correct, bud. Hang on the line. Got yourself a couple of tickets for... I lost the damn thing. Here it is. Tickets to see Nothing But Thieves. This band we're playing right here. They are playing the Welcome to the DCC World Tour Friday, September 15th at the Fillmore in Philadelphia. And tickets go on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.com. There is a pre-sale password and complete details available at WMMR.com. And we have another chance for you to win tickets with Brent Porsche later on today. And Ryan's not the only winner here. We're also going to set up Brandon Smith, who is from Millville, New Jersey, with a pair of tickets because he was our random texter that we grabbed to win as well. So congratulations to you, friend. We're going to ask a question now. It is a lesson question. See if you've been paying attention to the show. And for this, we will give away a 4-pack of tickets and pit party passes for Monster Jam, which is going to be Saturday, April 15th at Lincoln Financial Field. And the question... Wow. I'm going to ask this. This might be a hard one. This is in the 7 o'clock hour. Who was Shaq's first girlfriend?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a hint. It's Fresh someone, and it's not the Fresh Prince or anything like that. But who is Shaq's first girlfriend? 215-263-WMMR. If you get it close enough, I'll set you up, okay? We're going to do the trash while you call in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, brought to you this morning by Sport and Social. Catch all of the March Madness at Sport and Social on the 52-foot big screen at Live Casino Philly, featuring Bud Light packages, giveaways, games, and more for an unmatched basketball viewing experience. Steve, what's happening this morning?
Well, Kate Middleton has launched a new task force to focus on early development for children. The Princess of Wales says she's noticed that children tend to do better when they are born into a monarchy.
Yeah.
Hey!
Nick Lachey has been ordered to attend anger management classes and AA meetings after a physical encounter with the paparazzo Jody Santos last year. Lachey, who hosts Love is Blind, says he was preparing for a spin-off show at the time called Love is Hammered. And finally, Michael Halterman, the husband of 1,000-pound sister star Amy Slayton, has filed for divorce. Halterman says he still loves Amy, but really misses having leftovers. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty. We'll see if someone does indeed know the answer to this question. Who was Shaq's first girlfriend? And we are going to go to Trevor. He was the first caller in. Hey, Trevor, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. All right. Who was Shaq's first girlfriend, Trevor?
Would that be Fresh Nell?
Fresh Nell. Yes. Well done, sir. All right. Hang on, Trev. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets and pit party passes for the Monster Jam. Saturday, April 15th, Lincoln Financial Field. Experience full throttle family fun. And that will be at Monster Jam, where world-class athletes and their 12,000-pound monster trucks Tear up the dirt in wide open competitions of speed and skill. Tickets and information available at monsterjam.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Nell. Brought to you by Sequoia Outback, making backyards beautiful all over the Delaware Valley for over 25 years. Stop in for their annual Spring and Sequoia sale, which is going on now, by the way. Route 309 in Hatfield or at decksupplies.com.
You know, we should create Nell ASMR recordings.
Ooh, yeah, very soothing, triggering. Yeah. Oh, the whisper Nell. Oh, that'd be way. All right, we're going to start with this. Red Hot Chili Peppers, 30 Seconds to Mars, Knocked Loose, and more are headlining the 2023 Lollapalooza Festival. This will be August 3rd to August 6th, and it will be, of course, in the Grant Park area of Chicago. Other headliners.
Chicago! Chicago!
La la.
Was that for Lollapalooza?
Yeah. We're having fun with sounds today.
La la.
And that's in what city?
I think it's in
Chicago!
Oh.
Chicago!
That's the one and only location for Lollapalooza these days, right?
Yeah,
Chicago, that's it.
Not a tour. It's one single show. And it would be pretty cool to be right there in Chicago to see, that event.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great city. Other headliners include Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, and Odessa, and more.
Marissa, you went, right? 1 year? Yeah.
Did you go? Yeah.
Yeah, I went out. It poured rain. It usually does on the Saturday night. So I missed. I saw the Killers and I missed. I forget who. But it was fun. It was one of the best festivals. Jazz Fest is still my #1 music festival for all these. But Lollapalooza is really cool too.
Cool.
And
Jazz
the
Fest
city-
in New Orleans?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it because it wraps up at like 8 p.m. And
Wow.
then you get to go. Yeah, your face. Oh,
We could do it.
Tearing up after that.
Well, it wraps up at 8, so then all the bands go to all the restaurants and bars around. So I was watching like Government Mule at Tipitina's at 3 in the morning. So
You know what's kind of wild? In fact, Jamie Lee Curtis was going on about this, when all the Oscar buzz was surrounding her. And she is a big proponent. They had other celebrities chiming in saying, why don't bands ever do afternoon shows? Not part of a festival.
Yeah.
Like I saw Van Morrison one time at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Spectrum. I loved it.
Yeah, because bands don't go to bed until
that's why. Rock star time.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else I have here for you. Eric Clapton, Pink Floyd's Nick Mason, Peter Gabriel, and others have signed a petition urging a reversal of Frankfurt, Germany City Council's decision to cancel a May 28th concert by Roger Waters. The concert was canceled due to, quote, his alleged status as one of the world's most well-known anti-Semites. The Jerusalem Post reported upon the concert's cancellation, and they wrote the concert was to be held at the Festhall complex in the German city, which had been used for the detention of 3,000 Jewish men who were arrested after Kristallnacht between November 9th and 10th, 1938, in which Nazis attacked Jews and destroyed their property. 60% of the Festhall shares belong to the municipality. The city council was able to cancel their performance. They had submitted their decision to a judge to cancel Waters' appearance beforehand. It was also reported the new online petition, which was also signed by Brian Eno and Tom Morello, states in part the officials vilifying Waters are engaging in a dangerous campaign that purposely conflates criticism of Israel's illegal and unjust policies with anti-Semitism. Waters and his legal team have said that they will file suit with what they label as unjustifiable reasons for the cancellation, stating this is to ensure that his fundamental human right of freedom of speech is protected and that all those who wish to see him perform are free to do so in Frankfurt, Munich, and in any other city and in any other country. U2's Adam Clayton believes that by reinventing some of the band's oldest tunes on their new Songs of Surrender collection, the songs have only grown into what they were meant to be. Among the early tracks that U2 has revisited, some 40 years on, are such classics as I Will Follow, Two Hearts Beat as One, Stories for Boys, 11 O'Clock TikTok, and 40 as well. Still interested in. I've only heard little snippets here.
Yeah,
and there.
likewise.
Have you watched any of the Letterman special on Disney Plus?
Not yet.
Yeah, I think you'll really like it, Preston.
All right.
It's very well done. There's also a musician named Glenn Hansard, and he joins Bono and The Edge. And Glenn's a really talented musician. The other two guys from U2 are not in this documentary, but it's a really cool stripped down version of the band. They definitely spent a decent amount of time, exploring their roots in Dublin. And there's a lot of nostalgia, but they're living in the present too.
How much of this special has performances, or is it just all?
It's sort of like weaved in throughout, and they do like coffee house performances, like really intimate shows with 40 people in the audience or whatever.
I think what I heard, it's less them and it's more Letterman playing Triumph songs.
Yeah, and
wait,
Letterman's,
what?
a huge Triumph fan.
Wow,
Are they an Irish band?
No,
they're
Canadian.
Yeah,
I know, it's so weird.
Yeah. All right, and then one last story. Mudvayne has announced their psychotherapy sessions summer tour with Cold Chamber, Guar, Nonpoint, and Butcher Babies. The 26 tour will kick off on July 20th, and they will be here playing the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on July 29th.
I'd love to see Letterman sit down with Guar.
And Butcher Babies.
Butcher Babies.
Yeah. All right, and there you go.
Oh, my.
The last item I have for you in music news this morning. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. Wrap it up with Pierre Robert. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
That's the way you approach sex.
Speaking of Channing Tatum, totally different than the movie. What was it? That you just mentioned. Magic Mike 2.
Yes.
My daughter turned me on to a movie that Channing Tatum is in, and it's called The Book of Life. I had never seen it. It's an animated movie, and it's great. And he voices one of the main characters.
He's really talented. He's good.
Guillermo del Toro produced it, and it's really, really well done, but I had never seen it. It's no Pussy Island.
I was so intrigued by Pussy Island. If anyone has any idea what it's about.
It might be cats, man. 'Cause you know, some of those island nations, remember when we were on Anguilla or St. Martin, it was overrun with cats.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. So it very well could be that. I don't know.
Yeah, when I was in St. Lucia,
near the Butthole Islands,
they had these little. I mean, at the resort that we were at, they had a bunch of different restaurants. A bunch of different restaurants, and there were definitely cats at the restaurants. Not our maitre d's.
No,
but,
for the longest time. So you're familiar with Dirty Dancing, obviously, the Catskills. If you ever went up to a resort in upstate New York, around the restaurant, in the actual place where you were eating, cats were walking because they were there to take care of the mice problem.
Yeah,
and so
I'd rather have cats than mice and rats.
Here's the conceit of Pussy Island. Frida, who is Kravitz, is a young, clever Los Angeles cocktail waitress who has her eyes set on the prize, philanthropist and tech mogul Slater King, who's Channing Tatum.
Slater King, that sounds like a name.
When she skillfully maneuvers her way into King's inner circle and ultimately an intimate gathering on this private island, she is ready for a journey of a lifetime. Despite the epic setting, beautiful people, ever-flowing champagne, and late-night dance parties, Frida can sense that there's more to this island than meets the eye, something she can't quite put her finger on.
On. Steve.
I can't put my finger in it.
On it.
Oh, on it.
On it.
You still have it wrong.
But it says it's something terrifying.
I'm sure it is.
Those are the last.
You remember the first time?
It was a little scary.
Wait a second. I'm up to my wrist.
What am I doing here?
I'm up to my elbow.
A little scary that first time. Succulent.
I handle my succulent.
Yes. That's the main reason I brought this up. I was hoping that
Mandy would join.
All about the succulents.
Not watering enough.
My index fingers around my nipples.
Oh my God. And that wet ass succulent.
Wet ass succulent.
Interesting.
You had me at wet ass.
I know.
On the Hallmark Channel tonight. Wet ass succulent. I inherited my grandmother's succulent shop. And here comes Brick Laser, the new man in town.
Brick Laser?
His child died of some disease. I don't know. I never knew the kid. It doesn't matter. And he helps me with my succulents.
With the flashlight thing, an easier way, if you are doing some work and you need to use it and your hands are full and something like that, you can ask Siri to turn it on and off for you if you want to.
No.
You don't
What,
have
the
to.
flashlight?
Yeah.
Show me.
I'll show you.
Stop it.
Yeah. Hey,
Get out of here.
I'm talking to Siri, will you, please? Hey, Siri, turn on the flashlight. Here you go. You ready?
Oh, my.
Did mine go on?
Hey,
Mind
Siri, turn the
blown.
flashlight off. Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
It's on.
wow.
So if your hands are full, you can use it, or if it's sitting in a position where you need it on or off at certain times, you can just use that hands-free function.
Dude, thank you so
I didn't know
much.
that. I came across some, Siri tricks that you can do online. I was like, well,
You didn't
son
know.
of a bitch.
I knew that when I was 12.
A historic milestone has been reached by writer-director Nia DaCosta. She is the first black female director to have a film debut in the #1 spot in the U.S. box office with Candyman.
Nice.
She co-wrote the sequel to the original 1992 horror film with Jordan Peele, casting all black leads and addressing elements of racism throughout the film. The movie is also the second highest grossing 3-day opening for a black female director, right behind Ava DuVernay for A Wrinkle in Time. Candyman is currently in theaters.
I saw a tweet that was really funny about Candyman, and it's true. It's like Candyman he's a reasonable person. Just don't say his name, and he'll stay out of your life.
Yeah,
it's as simple as
you
that.
say it a couple
he's
times.
there.
You got to say it 5 times in front of a mirror. Otherwise, he'll leave you the F alone.
He's just minding his own business.
Just being all Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you say his name, and then why now I got.
Well, you wanted me.
But why does that bother him so much?
Well, I don't know.
Well, he's got issues. I mean, he's
he
not
says,
innocent.
keep my name out your mouth. Is what he said.
That's basically it, man.
So, but if I were to say your name 5 times, you wouldn't come and kill me.
No,
Well, it depends
he
on
would
how
give
you
you a
say
kiss
it.
on the forehead.
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say my name 5
Casey
times.
boy, Casey boy, Casey boy, Casey boy, Casey boy, Casey boy. I think I said 5 times. I just got a kiss on the forehead. That was nice.
Say my name 5 times.
A different kind of thing.
That would be the worst horror movie ever.
This is not scary.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy,
Said
I
this
guess.
guy's name in the bathroom mirror, and it came out and kissed my forehead.
I don't understand.
I was sitting here minding my own business. You
I
summoned
did
me
it.
to kiss your
I went
forehead.
and did it.
Keep my name out your mouth.
Well, that kind of made my day. You know, it honestly did. So thanks, pal. I
Well, I
appreciate
was just relaying the legend.
But right now, it's
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
all right. So yesterday, how did this even come up? I forgot.
Well, Steve sang his jingle, and then you guys
Oh, that's
commented
right.
on Peter Pan,
Yeah,
and I
it's-
said Peter Pan is an inferior peanut butter, and Preston, you took umbrage with
I
that
took
statement.
offense to that.
Yes, which you grew up on it.
Yeah, I grew up in a Peter Pan household.
Yeah, and so Casey and I were defending the honor of Jif, and I said that Jif is my favorite, although we'll see if that's actually true.
And then I said, well, at least we can all agree that Skippy sucks. And then Kathy jumped in, so we all took sides.
But here's
Steve, do you take a side at all?
Yes, I agreed. I agreed with Kathy. Kathy is her pirate
Stevie.
name. Yeah. I also, believe it or not, I think Peter Pan has merit.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm kind of Switzerland in this because I think everything has merit.
Here's the thing for me. I think I'll definitely be able to identify the Skippy, but I honestly don't eat any other peanut butter but that, so I don't know if I'll be able to decipher between Peter Pan and Jif.
I don't think I've ever had Peter Pan.
So, all right. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to see A, if you can identify what it is.
Right. Okay.
And B, rank which you think is the best one.
So we have.
I think all peanut butter's great.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm a big. I can't ever remember saying, "Oh, that's terrible peanut butter."
Except maybe some of just the natural ones. If you're really in the mood for the super sweet peanut butter, it can be a minor letdown. But I do like those too.
And by the way, the 3 spoons that we have here, fortunately, only equal like 1,000 calories.
Oh my God! Peanut butter is insanely high in calories.
It's great for protein.
Yes.
It's great for if you're just gonna stop at like half a spoonful.
Yeah.
That's fine. No one does.
Yeah, but who can do
And
that?
so you have 45,000 calories.
I think like a tablespoon is like 80 calories.
Yeah,
Kathy.
yeah.
Or maybe more,
no,
maybe
it's
like
more
110 or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Here's the deal, and I don't want to besmirch peanut butter. I hope peanut butter's not listening right now, but I think peanut butter
is only good when it's accompanied by something else.
Milk?
Peanut butter
I don't
by
agree.
itself. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like peanut butter needs something else to shine.
Some type of bread.
No, some type of, well, maybe bread, yes, but I don't even like peanut butter sandwiches, but like a jelly, a honey, a pretzel.
I can do just peanut butter on an English muffin, on a piece of toast.
Absolutely.
Stuff like
you could
that.
put it, so especially when you have it on a fresh out of the toaster.
Yes.
And it melts. Yeah, we're looking at the calorie.
That's 2 tablespoons.
That's 2.
Two tablespoons, 188
About
calories.
90.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a clear spoon. Casey, give me some music because we're just going to be sitting here smacking our lips.
Peanut butter jelly time.
People are going to hate that. All right. So try the white spoon. And see,
which one first?
Clear.
Clear?
The clear. Yeah.
All right.
Do you have your scoring sheet?
I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Now, if you're one of those people that hates the sound of smacking lips,
You're
going to
hate this.
You're going to absolutely detest this.
If you believe in peanut butter, clap your hands.
Is it? Can we comment, or is this a contest?
I think I know what that is. No, it's a contest. Don't comment.
No comment.
Okay.
Okay. I think I know what that
I think I know what that one is too. All right. When you're done.
Wait.
We don't have any palate cleansers either. So.
Oh, I do. Well, I got water. You got water.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I know which one is my Skippy before I even taste it, just by the look of it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be impressed if that's the
Kathy,
case.
that's how I felt.
Now I'm gonna
about
try.
not about Skippy, but about
Are we
you.
doing 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 for rating numerical taste?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go through all 3 of them before I decide which one I like best.
But 1 to 10, is that the?
Let's do 1 to 10.
All right, now white spoon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh. Okay. God, it's all good.
Okay.
Also good.
Oh my God, I got too much in my mouth now.
Yeah.
It
You hear that in
can
porn movies.
be like a full-on paste. All right, I think I know what that is.
Okay.
I may change my answer, but
You can. We just have to when we do the final tally. All right, and then I'm gonna turn this music up so people don't hear us going.
This is a
Come
lot.
here,
This is a lot harder than I thought.
yeah.
By the way, I want you to know that I wrote down my Skippy answer before you.
Red Hot Chili Peppers on 93.3 WMMR. Standing California, bringing us to a close on a Wednesday morning. Maybe cloudy today, but fairly mild temperatures. High of about 63. Going up to 69 tomorrow, but expecting some rain in the morning. And cooler on Friday. High 55 with rain in the morning, and then rain looks like all day Saturday as of now. But
Oh, well.
don't hold me to it, but it could be. I would like to thank Mr. Danny Cage being on our show today. Danny is from Monster Factory, which is this wonderful wrestling school in Jersey, and Apple TV Plus has done a documentary series on it called Monster Factory. It is available now. Danny's a super nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been working this long at it, and to finally get. Listen, you know, if the show gets popular, that you don't know what's going to happen, but he's got a show on Apple TV Plus. So.
Yeah. And gave out his phone number on the air today for those who want to be wrestlers. You can shoot him a text, give him a call, whatever. But you can also do a quick search on Monster Factory. I think it's monsterfactory.org is how you reach out to those guys. But he was a super nice guy, and it was great having him on this morning. Other than that, I think we need to do the letter of the day. So Pierre's not here, but we'll get Casey to fill that letter. Yeah.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
A, as in Alidocious.
Alidocious. All right. We're going to give away a $500 Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon gift card on Friday. You can check out their Heavenly Soft Pack Float Treatment, a luxurious Turkish bath experience, or you can escape with any of their massages. You can visit them at 3 area locations, Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. Or you can purchase online at josephanthony.com. Do it that way, too. Let's see. Thank you to our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Sequoia Outback, making yards beautiful all over the Delaware Valley for over 25 years. DeckSupplies.com. Also brought to you by Duncan. Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. And by J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, and you can visit jdog.com. Tomorrow will be a Thursday. Thursday's always a great day because most of the work week is done. And to make it even better, we will give away another trip to Universal Orlando Resorts.
Yes.
8 o'clock is when we will give you the clue, and we'll tell you what you need to do, but we gave away a trip today and yesterday and Monday. Let's just keep doing it for the rest of the week, so we hope that you're going to be here for that. That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day. Pierre is in next, and we'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.